guys. And old
Nope.
kids.
Nope, no time for that. It's time for video games. Time to beat a video game. Hey everyone, what's up Black Mage? Thank you so much for the 20 gift, 21 specifically. 21 jump subs. Thank you. I wasn't even here. I was sitting here cutting out clips. Oh, MC Pain acquired. What a beautiful day. Wait, why is there stuff in everything? Oh. Or there was. Oh yes, must immediately equip MC Pain skin. The dream is real. Oh, he's got gold teeth. I didn't even see that. I like how his glasses actually are hooking around his horns. Oh, that's so good. That's so good. Yeah, this is the one lock cutie. It's gotta be. Shmoopicus, thanks for the Prime sub. Yeah, that skin is too good. He's sparkling. He's non-stop sparkling. Stupid. I love his necklace. Oh! I love everything about it. Lester Dog, thanks for the Prime sub. Robin, I'm doing okay. I'm taking a little break from hitting the gym to let my let some muscle groups recuperate. That's going really well, but it also means I have a lot more time to sit around and do nothing. You guys didn't talk to the internet last week. What happened? Just wasn't the right time for 3 white dudes to say what's going on in their lives. A lot going on in the world, a lot of discussions happening. It didn't feel right. Sort of trying to find something to talk about for an hour and a half, while also acknowledging that we don't have a whole lot of stake in the current craziness in America. Sorry, I need to check audio levels as usual.
Only you. Rip and tear.
That's fine. All right.
Until it is done.
Somehow happened. Yeah. So yeah, just kind of like this. We kind of talked about it and we're like, it doesn't feel good. It doesn't feel comfortable.
I will mark it on
Just let it go. It's not it's not, we have the luxury of not being sponsored, so we can just kind of be like, we don't need to complain about DC movies this week. Maybe there's more important things going on. Oh yeah, Alex. Yes, One Angry Gamer has a long history of saying dumb shit to get attention, so it's the typical thing, man. If your identity online is to be it's kind of like the shock DJ aspect, but without standards and practices. So the people who only say shit to draw negative attention, they eventually let their pants fall down, and then their poopy butthole is out there for everyone to see. Because if you don't have if you're only saying what gets a rise out of people and you don't actually have any standards or morals, you'll just keep progressing down that rabbit hole until you out yourself for good. Which is, I feel like, kind of what that is. I'm somewhat familiar with them just from following games journalists and game news reporting and stuff like that. Yeah, we should all aspire to be on that list. I don't know that I would want anything that I do to be sanctioned and approved of by One Angry Gamer. Don't forget that zero health is bad. Have a good anime evening, chat. Ah, you heading out, Spirit Grip? Or you just wishing everyone a good evening in general? I'm okay with either. C-Bent, thanks for gifting out 3 subs. Ryan, thanks for the Prime sub. Lesser Dog, thank you again. Papa Jur, thank you for the Prime sub. All of your Primes have pushed us to a hype train already. Furthest I've gotten so far, like 2/3 of the way through Cult of Space, the third level.
The demonic consumption of Earth has been reduced.
Can I do it again? Let's find out. Yeah, actually, Solo Samurai, I listened to that song today, just this morning. It was quite good. C-Ben, thanks for gifting another sub. You guys are opening up with some incredible generosity today. Thank you. Well, my captain, thanks for the Prime sub. You pushed us to level 3. Twitch knows if there's one thing gamers love, it's levels and leveling. Thank you, Ryzen, for the hype train bits. They are appreciated. I will spend them on beer and donations to charitable causes. Which I can't really think of a better way to live life. Zephyroth, thank you for the cheer. I'm already violating my quote-unquote rule to play Doom with maximum intensity. Chrome-plated Bagel, thank you. Sorry, Kirko Kinda, thank you for the cheer. Bagel says, beat 2016 on Ultra Nightmare. One thing I didn't upgrade completely was the Death Rune. Yeah, you don't... So you were close to 100% Ultra Nightmare then. But, yeah, doing that Death Rune, that sure does make you pucker up, doesn't it? Yeah, this game's Ultra Nightmare is very mean, just because it's a longer game, harder game. Locked Cutie, thank you for the cheer. From Bruce's stream, media share is about to be no more on Twitch. Yeah, I don't think it's about to be no more. Like the structure still works, but yeah, the whole like wantonly watching music videos and playing copywritten content, that's about to go away. So like you could do a media share provided you scrub down all the submissions and make sure none of them are copywritten music videos. You could just watch like meme videos and stuff like that. Yeah, Ryzen, I'm curious what what effect this is going to have on MediaTek. I haven't received any DMCA's yet. I might be enough under the radar that they're just not hitting me, or the scale of my use of copyrighted material may not be egregious enough to warrant that. Ugh, that was scary. It's still scary, actually. So we'll see. I'm gonna keep MediaTek like it is, knowing full well there are some very copywritten things in there. Mostly the anime openings, I think, would get locked down first. It's not gonna be that hard to find and remove them from the like video pool. Mostly thanks to the fact that I've tagged everything now. So if I get notifications about what get claimed or what I get takedowns for, it would be pretty easy to screen out the questionable content. What remains to be seen is how that process is going to work. If I have streams chock-filled with copywritten material, and then I get... because my understanding is that Twitch is now implementing the same 3-strike system. If I get 3 channel strikes just like that, because of MediaTek, my channel's gone. But changing that now is not going to... Like, that's going to happen either way, no matter what I do at this point. So I'm just gonna have to wait and see what happens with enforcement. That neon flicker on my camera, like where I go blue for a little bit. Is it happening a lot today? 'Cause that does happen. Just pretend it's on purpose. Yeah, I'm aware of it. It's more the severity I'm concerned about. If it's happening more often than usual. I'm proud to announce too. Yeah, it's hacker mode, exactly. I'm proud to announce, too, that my thumb twitch has come back, so that's weird. Need the armor. I saw one so far? Oh, okay. Yeah, that's about right then. Yeah, 1 minute left for the hype train, you guys. You want to get those hot first-party Twitch emotes. Let everyone know that you're rugged and you're metal. You bring the heat and you got the juice. Maybe keep pre-2000 videos. That unfortunately there's no like there's no having uploaded a lot of this stuff to YouTube and seeing how it works there. I used to just upload all the streams in full. Because the clips in the middle would get claimed sometimes. That's not a big deal because YouTube revenue isn't anything in the first place. The problem was that some of the videos would be blocked because of the clips, and there's no correlation between how old they are and whether or not they get blocked. Undeadpool, thank you for gifting out 5 subs. Yeah, thank you for saving the hype train. The good people of this chat sure, laud you as a hero and appreciate your appreciate what you've done for the culture and history of this channel. How much does YouTube ad money, anyways? For me, I don't use YouTube well. That I'm gonna acknowledge that straight up. I upload the exact wrong kind of content to YouTube, and I don't thumbnail it well, and I don't title it well. I do all that on purpose because it's not like full-length VODs are not media that I try to market. Just wanna start with that. My content is not optimized for YouTube system, nor do I get that many views. That said, on a typical VOD, I'll get like 10, maybe $15 of ad revenue. I put them on YouTube more for just like archival purposes and for the, you know, couple of thousand people that actually use them like podcasts or background noise or something like that. It's not a money-making venture, but I am currently investigating ways to change that up a little bit. Okay, I gotta not look at chat for a minute because this fight can get a little rough. Also gotta actually hit shots once in a while. It's a neat idea. Series art collab. I mean, it would, but that's work, and you have to do that often. You can't do one collab and then you're like, okay, good, Twitch is fixed. Or sorry, YouTube's fixed. This is what I've noticed about every social network, is that if you want to be a success on it, it has to be everything you do. That's how they design them. Just kind of by virtue of like the public competition aspect of it too. You can't like. You either need a team that you can delegate all the work to, or you just have to go full bore into producing content for one channel. Now. I wonder if Mixer's changing also? Yeah, of course. I mean, maybe not right now, but eventually. This is a process, and Twitch got to ignore it for way too long. I mean, I hate to say it that way, and it was nice while it lasted, but there was no way. There was no way the wanton copyright abuse on Twitch was gonna fly for too long. Especially if Twitch starts, you know, making any kind of money or getting any kind of clout or viewership. It's just gonna come with the territory. Increased viewership means increased scrutiny. And if corporations feel like they're losing money, yeah, they're gonna come after your ass. Shit. I need a tiny boy. Twitch is going to need some really controversial AI. Well, from the sounds of it, UMG has like a staff of people that monitor streams live and can issue live DMCA takedowns. So it's people right now, but yeah, eventually I'm sure it'll be a bot network similar to Content ID that scrubs streams live for copyright infringing. That doesn't sound too unrealistic to me. Must be fun being a digital narc. Hey man, it's a job. It's a job, and this is the system. For now. Copyright law needs a massive rework. A lot of things, turns out, need massive reworks, but people have been calling for that for years. And also, yeah, DJ sets are something that are going to be rough. You'll have to actually license all the music you use in the set. Or use... Like, there will be opportunity there. There will be labels that see that there are, like, a bunch of hungry creators, and they'll offer, like, okay, you can use everything from our library for $50 a month. You know, something like that. That doesn't sound too unrealistic to me, if you want access to a library of content that isn't yours and you didn't make. I like to believe in the virtues of, like, open expression and media use for all, but boy, has it just never been that way. It's just never ever been that way. I know one label that's selling a license, so there you go. It's already happening. You can play radio and YouTube? Okay. Yeah, I think the Hype Train success. Thank you guys. Thank you. 50 a month is too high though? Is it? I mean, depends on what you're using it for, but that doesn't sound too bad to me for like transferable rights for an entire body of music to create with, not just to listen to. Like, man, media's gotten so devalued, and it's a good thing. Like, we all benefit from it. Movies are cheap, music's cheap, video games are cheap, everything's cheap. But your access is only stipulated to be like one person at one time, only for consumption purposes. You don't get all those resources to use for creative purposes either. And no one does. No one does. You can't make a movie and just yank other people's stuff and put it in there. I get it. Like, I know that these are all like independent creators. That's me too. But that's part of the thing. Like, when you're an indie, you don't get to use like AAA assets. It makes your stuff look a lot better. It reminds me a lot of, and I swear this is no shade, but like Sugar Pine 7 would use copyright music all over their videos, and it gave their videos a feel and a vibe that was absolutely like inherited from professional quality music. And once they had to go to music libraries, a lot of that vibe left because it was getting inherited from stuff they didn't make. But like that's how all music works. That's how soundtracks work. It punches up, but you have to pay for it. You have to pay for it. For now. I'm not saying that the system as it is perfect. I'm just saying that these are the rules everyone else has to play by.
Is to be present.
So, it's one of those like, yeah, it sucks. But oh fuck. Alright. Fuck! He doesn't. Oh shit! I haven't shot his gun off yet. That's why I was getting pinged so hard. Where are you? Ah! What? Oh, there you are. There we go. Frick. I really wanted to chainsaw something by now. There's my boy. Yeah, games are fine with it for the most part, which is weird. Yeah, it's mostly because streaming and YouTubing kind of hit. Like, there was basically a digital rights land rush, and creators got there first, which was great. The precedent got set that you can use you can use people's games however you want. And then, like, before publishers could really contest that fact, with accepting like Nintendo and a very few others. Before they could try to get in there and get a piece of the action, there was already an economy built around it, already a viewership, already in a whole industry. There were creators making a lot of money. There were advertising on those creators. Like, once the whole structure's built up, one company by itself can't really challenge that. Unless I guess that's what UMG is doing, but they're a little bigger. Streaming and tubing is also free advertising, and everyone aside from Nintendo and Atlas knows the benefit of that. See, it hurts me to hear Atlas mentioned in that, because they didn't say you couldn't stream the game. They just asked you to comply by, I consider, very reasonable guidelines. Nintendo is another story. They were more of a revenue sharing thing. They were trying to cultivate their own, like, they're so protective of their brand. I kind of get where their head was at, even if it was a little behind the times. But Atlas only did it once, and it was for one game. And I think their reasoning was okay, but that's just me.
Forget about
The stop point was like 30 hours into the game. It really wasn't very, like, you could stream a good portion of the game, and then a few weeks in, they even relaxed it again to like, everything except the last 10 hours of the game, basically. They did it twice? What was the other game they did it for? Oh, they did it with Royal? Again, they made the game. Oh, it was worse? Okay. It's their copyright, but yeah, okay. I didn't know it was worse for Royal. But it's can only assume, which is a big assumption, that someone has access to the marketing data and they make the call that like, no, it's more hurtful than help. What? Oh man. Actually, really did need to take that hit right there. Because this is a rough part. I believe this is part of the why games get away with it. Yeah, it's the marketing angle. I has merit. People wave that around like it's something that is an inescapable, utterly airtight defense, and it's really not as far as the law is concerned. But I do agree that there's a lot of value there in spreading awareness and marketing of a game. I think it was like with Skate 3, there was like a surge of sales just because, like there's plenty of headlines, I think, that pretty solidly say there is a connection between like online created media and people buying games. Shit! This is why full auto is scary. Like GTA Online, I feel like has got to be one of the biggest examples of that. Or fucking League of Legends, man. It's a good user acquisition tool for the younger audience, I think. Yeah, being free and popular on Twitch is huge for your wallet. Sure.
She is inside that
For sure.
citadel. I will mark her location on your HUD.
Is there a precedent for what, Berserk?
The gathering of hell priests is
Jerfton, what do you mean?
your location. My scans indicate
Yeah, Five
the
Nights.
center
Yep.
of this facility.
It's important to note, yeah, all these DMC claims are for older clips and videos. It's very strange. Yeah, it's pretty shitty they decided to drop the hammer in retrospect. That's exceptionally shitty. Again, they can do it because they're legally allowed to. That doesn't make it not shitty, though. That's one of those things where it's like, okay, we know they're assholes, but Twitch, you couldn't have given anyone a heads up? Maybe Twitch didn't know. Or maybe they were contractually obligated to not give people a heads up. Man, who knows? This shit can get so complicated, and it's, I'll echo advice that I've given in the past. It's so easy to try to divide these situations into good guy and bad guy. Label artists, I think we can... I want to call label artists the bad guys, but also musicians aren't getting paid much either. Anyway. Not having a precedent is part of why games got away with having full playthroughs? Yeah. It's weird because those precedents exist in broadcast TV. And Bruce has talked about this before, how at G4 they would have to go to individual publishers and get the rights and stuff like that. So technically that precedent was set, it just wasn't set online. And I think luckily, this is one of the fun things, because I've done this at companies before where if you asked, you would not get permission, but if you just make a thing and it's working and earning money, then people are like, oh, and then they figure out how to move the rules around to keep the money flowing in. It's typically what their deal is, so. I can't imagine David Cage not trying to lock a gameplay. He does seem like the type, right? Spartan Spud, thank you for the Prime sub. Mr. Cheeky Beaver, so cheeky, thank you for the sub. Blonde RPS, thanks for the cheer. Ajax, thanks for gifting out a couple of subs. Black Mage, thank you for the cheer again. Jeez. Hope streams stick around. They will. They will. I think if anything, the most dystopian I can ever imagine this getting is that streams from big publishers, especially if they use copywritten music, like publishers probably don't sign music deals. They definitely don't sign music deals in perpetuity. Like music leaving games like Grand Theft Auto is kind of an example of that, of relicensing for new platforms. I'm pretty sure, 100% sure, publishers do not sign licensing agreements to extend to content creators as well. There might be publishers that start doing that, where they make a game, and then they say all the assets in this game are like free to be used in derivative works. That would be wild. That will probably never happen. So what I can imagine is either a big AAA publisher will just look the other way, or not sign music that has those strings attached, or they do, and then they just leave the enforcement to the music label. There will always be like AA and indie developers though making games where they don't give a fuck. So streaming will always be there. It just may not be the big, like, shiny AAA like this. It may not be the big asset games where a notable name worked on the soundtrack, and the soundtrack itself has monetary value. Or, like, games with big actors, you know? Imagine, like, Cyberpunk Keanu Reeves. If you can interact with Keanu Reeves in a variety of ways, maybe the estate of Keanu Reeves or his agent doesn't want, like, his likeness being spread around in that manner, or feels like YouTube or Twitch owe compensation to Mr. Reeves for his repeat appearances on the platform, you know? I could see something like that happening too. And then Twitch is just like, okay, no more Cyberpunk then. Or, like, then the community will, like, make mods to take him out, you know, yeah. I think in the chaos, like, there will still be a scene. I don't think they can lock it down at this point. Cat's already out of that particular bag. I mean, it's like remix culture in music. Labels didn't support it at all, but it's still there. It's not something you can get rid of. It's more like the links you have to go to find it get a little trickier. You're gonna get the soundtrack from Tony Hawk games again? I mean, you will. You won't be able to play it with the music on and get revenue from it. You won't be able to do all of those things all at the same time anymore, probably. I can... It's already been the case with a few games where you have to choose between playing it and streaming it with full audio and getting the resulting VOD claimed. That's been the case on YouTube for a very long time. That'll probably be the case on Twitch. And here's the real killer. Here's the thing that really hurts to think about. If by not playing the soundtrack, less people want to watch the game, then that means the soundtrack is an important part of the game's broadcast value. Which means that if you're using it for free and causing people to watch your stream because of the licensed music you're playing, that's where it becomes a problem. Like, when you start inheriting the value of other people's creative works and not paying any money through the system to it, that's when like, people typically have a big philosophical issue. That's when they start pressing the flesh a little bit. So, it kind of works out, you know? If people came to the stream specifically for the streamer, and the streamer was the heart of the stream, and all of the creative value came from the streamer, then they would watch Tony Hawk without the soundtrack, right? That sounds like a bad game then? I don't know about that. I don't know about that. Games are the sum of all of their constituent parts. A soundtrack is every bit as important to a game's feel and emotion. It's just... a streamer didn't make the music. So what, are they like earning revenue because they had the good taste to pick that game? Agreed, but it shouldn't be all of it? Yeah, no, I'm just discussing in theoretics. It would never be all. This is more of like a... Oh baby. I can see, like, maybe with the soundtrack off, like, people would come into a Tony Hawk stream and be like, where's the music? And then somebody would say, oh, they just turn it off. And then like, oh, okay. And maybe that makes it less useful as background noise. What about DJs? Can they still stream? Sure. They can stream sets full of music that they paid the royalties to use. Or have licensed for live broadcast. There are tons, well, I won't say tons, there are a grip of music labels and indie labels that are vocally putting their music out to be used in, like, all YouTube, all everything. A lot of chiptune artists do that. Like, Game Chops is a label formed by DJ Cutman. He's always been very vocal that all of his remixes that are put out under the label can be used with attribution on YouTube and Twitch and things like that. I think we'll see more of that. It's a tough sell, though, to be like, if I give this stuff away to be used for free, does that eventually turn into money for me at some point? Fuck. Oh, I'm in trouble. Oh, I'm already dead. Okay. That's one then. Should have been careful about the Hell Knight. Okay, well. It's a good thing I got that rune then. What is attribution? Like, identifying what the song is, who made it, and like, putting a link in to go find it. It's putting credits, basically. You have to attribute what you use. You can't just use it and then let people to assume that you made it yourself. So if somebody hears the music and they're interested in it, they can, like, you know, hit the description and go through. Artist Rab has a stream safe playlist. Okay, yeah, there's stuff like that. Ever miss working with other people? I know being at home so long, I miss shooting the shit with coworkers. I miss joking around with people, but I gotta admit, like, the last year and a half to 2 years of my time at Rooster Teeth, I wasn't really talking with people that much on a given day. I had so much shit to do. It basically, like, I just had to be head down working most of the day, so it wasn't a whole lot of just shooting the shit with the homies. It was all just pretty stressful work. Yeah, unfortunately. So not a ton left to miss there, really. It was already kind of gone. Got it through his lower lip. Good. Bad shot. Ooh! A little less bad. Alright, come here. Yeah, thanks. Thank you, Zach. I'm slowly getting better at shooting things. You hate your first job out of college. Hate is a really strong word. I was not a good fit there. I'll say that. It was a pretty structured, I would say, like, I hate to use the word typical. It was a 9 to 5, you know? I had a cubicle. I punched in code all day. I was a mega hyper, even more of a mega hyper dork then, so I didn't really get along with my coworkers because they were all like well-adjusted people. So yeah, wasn't a fan of it. I quit that after about a year and a half. Went to being self-employed. Where I am now. I'm starting to think that that's just better for my constitution. It just it fits my my personality better. Your plans after R2 put on hold. They're starting to ease up or turning out something else further ahead. There's been other things that popped up that also got delayed. But the post-RT plans are still kind of there. Just delayed until a point when, like, air travel and working on teams can become a thing again. If you weren't a game journalist or streamer, what kind of job would you do? I thought a lot about that. There's a couple of things. I could see being a musician. I could see being a cook or a chef. Yeah, film production just isn't happening. And that goes for video production too. I mean, there's a lot of, like, COVID production is pretty wild. Webcams and stuff, but yeah, and most production right now is people that are already in the system just trying to figure out how they can stay afloat. There's not a whole lot of hunger for, like, biting off new projects right now. I'd be a prize fighter. That's what I'd do. I'd love to see you cook. Yeah, cooking streams are kind of a thing, aren't they? I don't know. There's a couple of things that I'm afraid to expose to the internet. One is cooking, because I don't want people to nitpick. The other is fitness, because I also don't want people to nitpick. I'm gonna, like, I undercut it a little bit with protest messaging, but I do want to convert my Instagram to being fitness focused. I just need to give it a minute so it doesn't look like I was using the protests to launch a brand or something. One of these days I'm going to record a video in my home gym and be like, hey, alright, so I was joking, but not joking about this. And then just not look at, just need to not look at Instagram comments, critiquing form or whatever.
Despite their transgressions against the government, they are still...
Cook beef rendang. You won't regret it. I don't even know what that is.
What you interfere with now?
How was shooting the wrestling doc? I mean, the experience of wrestling was great, and getting to do it with James was amazing. I learned a lot about myself through that process. The actual production, though, was a nightmare. Like, it was done over the course of 5 days total. I came into it sick and injured. which sucked. Spent a lot of it in a car, which, you know, that couldn't be helped. But the goal, yeah, it was shot in a very compressed time frame, which sucks because I came into it injured and then I got even more injured doing it. So by the end of it, I was just frazzled. I was like getting concerned that I was racking up pretty permanent injury. I mean, that's what drove me into physical therapy. So it was a very challenging project. There were moments where I was concerned about the speed and the I'm trying to think of how to phrase this. Like the speed of it kind of pushed out other concerns, which is namely that like wrestling is really hard to do, and it's RT paid you for that? At least the healthcare? No. I mean, they paid my salary during it, but I was also still doing my full-time job. Which was, like, that was supposed to be a goal of the documentary, is to cover the difficulty of, like, working a full-time job and then also trying to be an indie wrestler. But I think the intention was to create that feeling, even though it was shot over the course of, you know, more than half a week. Yeah, I mean, RT paid for my insurance. I paid for the co-pays. I mean, it was like, it wasn't all a bad thing. It's actually good that I went through that because it did expose a lot of issues that I had with my own, like, posture and health and fitness. It was a good experience, and I don't know that had I not gone through it, I don't know that I would have gone to therapy and figured those things out. So I'm choosing to look on the sunny side of it. And it's not like they forced me to be in it. I wanted to be in it. But I had to obligate to it before I knew the conditions that it would be produced in, or really the dates that it would be produced. Ow! Get your ass kicked for RT? Yeah, multiple times. Just say RT crunched you and ignite drama. I mean, I crunched. I don't want to say nearly non-stop, but I crunched a lot at RT. They didn't force me to, though. Nobody ever forced me to. Have James really been on stream with you or Bruce yet? I mean, you'd have to ask Bruce. But no, they have not been on stream with me. I don't know why I would know what's going on with Bruce's thing. The intention of the doc was to show the difficulty of working a full-time job and moonlighting as a wrestler, but we won't show any of the repercussions because it might reflect poorly on the company. Well, I mean, I don't know that there were any repercussions to show. By the time they wrapped filming, the budget was gone. Like, the whole crew just pieced out immediately. At least they did by my perception. I don't know. For real though, I was just along for the ride. Ah, crap. Oh, crap. It's an angry cacodemon. Damn it. What dock is this? House of Pain. Ah, shit! Fuck. I cannot run out of ammo. I'm losing concept of that. I gotta chainsaw way more often. That was dumb. That was dumb. Just one cacodemon and no shells, and that's it. And my grenade was on cooldown. Would you take another shot at a legit fight? Let's say 3 months of paid training, but you have to fight at the end? Well, what do you mean by fight? Like, you mean like a wrestling match? Or like or a boxing match?
All the wickedness that mankind can produce, we will send unto them. Only you.
UFC fight? Yeah, I'd probably do that.
Rip.
I mean, I would lose.
Until it is
like, no question. If I had 3 months to train from now, I would 95% sure I would lose. But sure, that'd be fun. That'd be fun. I'd do that.
I will mark it on
I'd get my ass kicked. Like, they'd have to feed me a real fresh newbie. Think you could knock out Ben Affleck? Of course. I can knock out anybody that's not a trained boxer. I'm pretty confident in that. It's not hard to sucker punch somebody, okay? It's really not hard to knock someone out with a sucker punch. It hurts. It's not hard. Would Steph be okay with that? No, you guys don't... Do you guys even remember the context of that? No, you don't. You don't. Everything gets like soundbited, I swear to God. The context of it was that he just banged Stephanie. So I don't give a shit if she's okay with it. Nobody remembers. Nobody remembers. That was another one of those things too where, like, I don't know. That shit happened all the time, where I would say something and then people would like distort it to make me sound shittier than I meant to. It happens so often, I got kind of tired of it, so... I'm like, why are you trying to make me sound like an asshole right now? It's kind of how it felt almost every day. Yeah, exactly. Exactly, Nitro. Thank you. I'm glad you get it. You can knock out anyone you want as long as they're completely unprepared and they deeply trust you. Kind of your character. See, it becomes your character when everyone else says it a million times. That doesn't mean it... Yeah. It was, but it wasn't one of my choosing. It's something that I'm learning the more and more away from it I get. Yeah, you have to only punch people who trust you. That way you win every time. Oh, you meant of me UFC fighting, sorry. Yeah. Clearly there's a nerve there. No, Steph would be okay with it. She's said before she wants to watch me beat somebody up, so. The problem would be if I lose. That would cause an issue. Yeah, sounds like Steph. Yep. Geralt or Doom Guy? I think Doom Guy would win that one. It's my least favorite thing about improv. You have to yes and even if it makes you out to be super shitty. Otherwise you're a bad improv partner. Yup. That is correct. And like, you're not allowed to call something out in the middle of a bit. You have to roll with it. And yeah, like, it requires trust, and it really does put a lot of power in your partners to either set you up for good jokes or also keep them from you. It's a wild setup. I don't think anyone goes into like improv trying to defame or like villainize anyone else, but I do think it's definitely an interesting dynamic where, yeah, if people set you up for like a joke and you don't take it, or if they set you up for a bad joke, like one that makes you sound shitty for saying it, then like, yeah, it's tough. It's a tough call to make. Okay, I'm gonna do it this time. I'm gonna chainsaw. Can't stop me. Can't stop me, Dad. Yeah. God damn. Oh, they remade Doom series. Remember when I was 5 playing this game with my dad? With a laminated card of cheats? Very nice. Yeah, everyone's got like really powerful memories associated with Doom. Video games are important. Or I'm coming for you. It's probably a really bad idea. Okay, I made it. This game was the first PC game you ever played? Nice. That's a good origin story. It's filled with power. Huh. Oh. That's weird sometimes. Sticky grenades can hit shit in the air and detonate. Or get shot by, like, imp fireballs or cacodemon things. That's an interesting decision. I think I like it. Makes the game pretty spontaneous. This game is trash. Why can't I look up and down? Yeah, that requires a little bit of adjustment. Diablo. Ooh, the skellies were too spooky. I mean, Diablo's a really high tension game. Vinicello, hey, thank you for the sub. Also Tom Breck. Continue to forget that I'm sub. Very happy to support. Well, thank you. I'm very happy to receive that support. Improv is not fun when everyone's bad at it. That's what's tough too, is how do you... I mean... It's pretty easy to tell when improv's bad, but like, where do you go from there? There are some guidelines to improving at improv, but I feel like if you... I feel like if practice was all you needed, a lot more people would be a lot better at improv. So like what... I don't know, man. It's tough. It's tough out there. I think the really challenging thing is to just figure out how to get everyone on the same wavelength. That can be really tough in improv. So like actually find a vibe with a group, or even just one other person. What happened with Twitch DMCA? It's complicated, unfortunately. I don't know that it can exactly be. Oh shit! Oh, okay, now we're fine. We're fine. Can be soundbited that easily. Improv is more fun when the jokes aren't just constantly shitting on someone. Yeah. Or like one bit that gets hammered and hammered and hammered because it worked. I know that feeling of like feeling like you're in a desert and you need to find some water, comically speaking. But yeah, sometimes that's the thing. The law has come to Twitch. Actually, that is a really good way of summarizing it. Yeah, copyright law has arrived. The running gag. I mean, running gags have craft though. There's a difference between running gag and like, remember that? Yes, I'm going to beat the shit out of my cane bit. No, that's fine. That's beautiful. That is absolutely okay. More than okay, it's encouraged and in fact required. Yeah. Somehow shot directly in between them. Which, if you think about it, is actually quite impressive. Ah! I eat that. I ate that straight up. Ow! Oh! Oh, goodness. Oh, dear. When's this stupid arachnotron gonna arrive? Hey! Rapport does not equal comedic skill at every group of white friends who decides to start a podcast. Ah. I'll go one step further. Just because you have a good time talking with your friends does not make it good content. Unfortunately. Then again, people will spend time with a lot of content that I wouldn't consider the best, but that's just me. Anyone notice the sudden influx of gamer-centric ads on Twitch? I haven't, because I have Twitch Turbo. I'm one of those weirdos, but oh shit, I want shells. But maybe Twitch's ad department is finally getting in there. Okay. Bounty? Man, I gotta watch these. Is there any point in getting secrets in Ultra Nightmare? The only possible point is that it's part of a level objective that will get you a Sentinel battery that could get you a suit upgrade a little bit earlier. That's it though. There's not really any other reason to do it. The only things that seem to matter are like the optional gore nests can get you more weapon upgrade tokens. That's useful. Absolute cringe. Never cared to be pandered to. I'm just more in awe of the fact that those ads exist now.
The UAC
Gamers are a recognized class.
support during this
I'm gonna do media share and see what happens. I'm just gonna do it. Again, like, the way that I summarize the situation is that if they're gonna issue... If I've already run afoul of DMCA problems, and they're gonna retroactively issue strikes, I'm done. I'm already done. It doesn't matter. So I'm just gonna keep doing it, because either they will or they won't, and my fate's sealed either way, so why not just keep going? Again, I think I might be too small scale. Might be too smaller taters. One of the two people I've seen with Turbo on Twitch. It's a great subscription. I love it. I love it. I use it all the time. I praise God for it. I don't understand, man. Like that and YouTube Premium. I get that YouTube Premium is not in every region, but holy crap, man. It's so worth it. And those are, like, I watch more content on Twitch and YouTube than I do on any subscription network. Probably. And it costs so much less than any of them. And you don't have to pay. You don't have to watch any ads. I'd be shitty if they do it retroactively. They are. They did. It happened. So that's something I'm concerned about, but like I said, I'm kind of already beyond the Rubicon there, so there's not, like, why worry? Make me to share sub only. Those pesky corpos will have to sub to DMCA you. Yeah, they could. That's a possible way to do it. I started doing MediaTek streams as sub only for that reason. I might go back to that. Woo! 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 When did he get there? Holy crap. Wow. Did not expect that. Damn it.
Against all.
Yeah, this is the run though. Also, what's up, Corny?
Can conjure. All the
Does Twitch themselves respond to these concerns? I don't know. It just happened this morning.
We will send unto them only
As far as how Twitch Turbo supports
and tear
creators, I don't know about that one.
done.
On YouTube, at least, YouTube does pay premium revenue towards videos that you watch while subscribed to YouTube Premium. So, and it's significant. A viewer watching with YouTube Premium is like
We'll mark it on your HUD.
100 times more valuable than somebody that just watches a YouTube ad. I say just, like that's an insignificant thing, but the difference in compensation is pretty stark. I don't know that Twitch has a payout system like that. I've never seen a line item on my like analytics for Twitch Turbo revenue. Oh, ask support, yeah. Twitch has basically said delete all the clips and VODs. We'll make tools to make it easier to torch it all. Yeah. I think Twitch knows that they're staring down the barrel of some very, very well-funded, very expert lawyers. This is not a fight they want to bite off. They're going to try to, like, work on quality of life to make abiding by music labels requirements a little easier. It's not all that surprising, really. Oops. Can you make revenue off VODs? Yes. On Twitch, yes, but not very much. Twitch has tried a few times to like make their VOD viewing a little more robust. I don't think anyone comes to Twitch for that. It's interesting, like once people use a service for something, it seems like it's nearly impossible to train them to expect something else from it. Like I put you in your little box, that's where you stay. Because that's how I like it. Makes sense to me. find Amazon Prime to be valuable for the cost. I just stream for fun, and it's great when I have a viewer nowadays. When I get a viewer nowadays, since I'm no longer playing a game where I get double digits anymore. Personally, don't see value in Turbo. For someone that has your viewer count, I can see the value. It's not necessarily viewer count. It's the streams that I watch. It has no value to me as a streamer. It has value to me as a viewer.
There are 2 hell priests remaining.
I'll be doing content detection in real time. That is what I saw. I saw somebody on Twitch saying that they claimed that they had people watching streams and could issue DMCA takedowns live while you're live. I'm gonna assume that's only for the most egregious violations. People just straight up streaming TV shows while they're playing WoW or something. That's ridiculous. Absolutely ridiculous. That's called functional fixedness. Ah, I shouldn't be surprised that it has a term. It's funny because I can never blame a company for trying to expand their product offering or try and change or increase their clients' integration with their product. But it does seem like a lot of times, the natural tendency of people to use a tool for its intended purpose only. Gotcha. Yeah, it's, I feel like often social networks and service companies will roll out this new thing because it serves their interest. They're like, hey, you should watch more VODs because if we get more viewership numbers, then we can sell more ads. And I'm like, yeah, I know. Like if you get more video starts, you get more ad insertions. How does that make anyone else, like, I guess if you add a better thumbnail to it, that seemed to be what Twitch did. They try. I'll give them credit, you know? There's a lot of good faith effort, or at least from my very amateur perspective. I feel like Twitch usually tries to find a reason that it's valuable to the streamer and the viewer, and in addition to their own company. Oh, the guy who streamed an entire UFC fight by holding a controller? Yeah? I mean, that stuff, like, there'll be a window where people try to fool the robots, or fool the people, really. They always win, though. Can't keep a legal copyright down. Are you supporting Bezos? I mean, technically I am. But, I'm making it so he's dependent on me. That way, again, once I have his trust, then I hit him with that Ben Affleck right cross. He's gonna go down like a pound of potatoes. Can't wait. Didn't you feel weird when IG started to have expansion ideas like the game and the app was mentioned a few times? Oh, do you mean Instagram? You might have to be specific about what IG says. Oops. I'm looking at chat. Hold on. I see media share, someone else profiting off music or video content made by others, but I agree the content is getting exposure to an audience it would likely not have reached. Yeah, that's exactly what it is. Frankly, media share as a concept is absurd. There's no reason I or any streamer should get paid to play a video made by someone else. But there it is. You know? That's what kind of like, if media share goes away, I'm like, okay. I can't, I'll be sad about it, but I'm not going to be that sad about it. Oh, that's what I was referring to? Oh, Inside Gaming. Oh, I heard the guys talking a few times about wanting to put the squad in a game or integrating you into sort of app. There was never any talk about that when I was there. I don't know where the time would have come from. Are they, Rooster Teeth Games coming back, roaring back? Gonna make an Inside Gaming mobile app? Oh, Durrell just got here? Yeah. There've been some DMCA business. Yeah, I would miss all the cool stuff I learned through Media Share too. I mean, it doesn't have to be a paid setup either. The Kim Kardashian stream, Joel said that maybe the guys will be in a game soon, and they went, and then Bruce and Adam went weird about it. I have no idea what you're referring to. Also, that was years and years and years ago. So like, whatever was said then, I'm sure it doesn't apply even a little bit now. Hold his shoulders up so high.
Step on the path to a bright.
Yeah, I will lament the lack of discovery in Media Share, but you know what? That sense of discovery can still exist in other places. Like, there can just be a thing on the Discord maybe once a week. Fuck! Do YouTubers' React videos get demonetized? That's essentially Media Share on Twitch, right? Using media to create dialogue and context. YouTubers' React is technically supposed to fall under fair use for commentary and editorialization. So, talking over a video, or reacting to it, or providing commentary on it should satisfy the tenets of fair use to exist as its own independently monetizable content. But some people push it too far, and then they get claimed, and then they pitch a huge bitch fit about getting claimed. Then they get to the top of our videos. Then they get an unjustified surge of popularity because they portrayed themselves as the victim when they were pretty much ripping off somebody else's video and thumbnail. And then they make some passable sketch comedies, and then they do nothing but podcasts, and then they fade into obscurity. Oh wait, no, they got to beef with people on the internet first. That's fine, that'll be me. I want to be clear, I'm joking about myself as much as anyone else. Nostalgia critic. It's funny you thought that I was... So it's funny, that could apply to a ton of people. Suspiciously specific. But who was I talking about? But who? Who can say? Alright, yeah, Tim's got it. Yeah, shots fired. Shots fired wildly into the sky at no one in particular. There's still a bit of Texas in me. Man, I love how generous they are with those mouth shots. Yes. Also support Gus and Eddie. Absolutely do that. For real, like, the fact that they're successful gives me an ounce of hope that YouTube is not a complete dumpster. Whoa! I didn't know bodies. Oh! Oh! I didn't know bodies could do that. Why am I here? Crap. What a shot. What a shot. No, I don't need that yet. We want this, though. And everyone can be Fugazi? The band? I guess that's true. Debating increasing my living expenses a lot to move to a place where I can get a dog. I desperately want one. I think it'd be good for my mental health, which would help me make more money. Scared to look at the numbers, though. Like apartments that allow dogs? Is that what you're looking at? I think it would be good for your mental health. Dogs are just good for the world's mental health. Can't stand YouTube watchdogs that just look for drama to exploit. Yeah. They're theoretically fulfilling a market need. Fuck. Am I out of shells? I am. Oh boy. Wait. Fugazi is a mythical ideal of punk ethics? Really? I'm not familiar with that. I need to listen to more Fugazi, apparently. Yeah, also, yes, a dog itself is a pretty big monetary investment. I mean, you work from home, so that's good, but, like, you might have to travel at some point, and then that's a cost. Oh, it's East Coast? Okay. I've listened to a couple of Fugazi albums, like, a while ago, just because I was like, hey, I recognize that band name. That's about the extent of my knowledge of them. Fugazi is the best mashup album? Is it Wario? Wario and Fugazi together at last. Oop. Oh! All their shows are all ages and $5 a ticket. They made their own merch. Their music was all released on an indie label owned by the band founder. Okay, wow. Yeah. Neutering nails, shots, checkups, etc. Yeah. In addition to just the basic stuff. Spent 10 minutes on a bonus fight and just beat it. Yeah, Otters. Congratulations. Coming in here with those big gamer plays. You know I appreciate that. You know I do. Whatever. Y'all can just do your thing. What? Hey! I left you alone. Specifically so I wouldn't have to shoot you. Okay, I'm gonna get past this room. I'm gonna do it. Here we go. Ah! I didn't expect him to be so close. No. Fuck. Fuck. What the? It's hitting me. Oh. Ah. Okay.
Forget about the future.
Oh! Fuck. Wrong. Hup. Ugh. Oh. Bomb the music industry. Jeff Rosenstock? Man, I got a lot of learning to do here. Don't know how hot or niche this take is, but it's the argument. Was that what it was? Hold on a second. The argument. Okay. I'll have to check it out. What's up? Ash down. Things are going pretty well. Just playing some Dooms. Haven't been doing super hot, but haven't you heard conservatism is the new punk? God. Being conservative will never be punk. Being conservative just means that you're, like, in league with the richest white men in the world. How is that punk? Like, being conservative right now is the opposite of punk. Being pro, like, big business, pro-billionaire? Please. It's, like, the least fucking punk thing. I get the idea, and I get why, like, conservatives might claim that. Because they're young and angry, and they think they're counterculture. Despite being the, yeah, even being liberal is not punk. I mean, I guess it depends what kind of punk you're referring to. I'll say that, like, fucking liberals getting closer and closer. Fucking smashing windows and knocking shit over because you want societal change. That's pretty punk. Presuming that you, probably bit off of more than I wanted to chew there, trying to equate protesters with rioters, but didn't mean to do that. Whoopsie. Yeah, thank you, Waffle. being punk isn't punk. I mean, that's true too, Dr. Full House. The only, not that I'm an expert, but the only and truest explanation I ever had is the parable of the young and the old punk. Yeah, it turns out Whoops rights are actually a form of civil unrest, which is the most punk thing in the world. Whoops. And it turns out if you're like completely against them, you're not even 1% punk. Not even in there. Yeah, what's Henry Rollins up to these days? It's been a while since I've seen him cameo in a movie, which is kind of a shame. Oh shit, I should have left one of those alive so I could chainsaw. Hey! Doom guy giveth. Whoop! Fuck! God, you assholes have so much health! I hate Rollins, he's whiny. He's opinionated, but yeah, it can read as whiny for sure. Violently opposing fascism is now un-American. Yeah.
Inside that demonic city.
Doing whatever an increasingly oppressive government structure tells you to do is the American thing, apparently. Wow.
The gathering of hell priests is located just above your location. My scans indicate there is a lift at the center of this facility.
Henry Rollins is a great writer, Indo-Alien. I agree with that. Stephanie bought me a poetry book of his, and it's like they're not all diamond hits because it's mostly just like whatever he was scrawling in his notebook while he was on tour in the late '80s. But I was reading through it, and I got to the point where like his best friend died, and not only did it, like the way he expressed his grief and anguish through writing was really incredible. And deeply hurtful, but also you can see like his bitter resentment for the LAPD throughout that process, how they treated him and his best friend. Yeah, you can see it happening. Man, there's a great vid on YouTube of Rollins and another guy painting each other's bodies while they talk shit. Ha! That's great.
I do not have the means to locate this.
Solo, yes. The current game is still Jedi Power Battles. Let me look at my list here and see what's after that.
Belch is now ready for your approval.
Let's see. Hold on. I always get a little distracted when I look at my phone. All right. Force Commander is the next one. That's the RTS, I believe. That, as I recall, was not super great, but I'll get to it. The other guy paints flowers and wavy patterns, and Rollins spends ages painting a small square box. Perfect summary. Yeah, that's... That sounds 100% characteristic.
Is activated and ready when you are.
Why does Twitch on mobile always black out every once in a while? Like it blinks a black frame or something? It might be switching quality. If it's on auto, maybe your bandwidth is right in between a couple of the qualities, so it's clicking back and forth, and maybe there's a black screen there. Maybe try manually setting a resolution. Start at the top and work your way down until it doesn't like freeze or hitch up anymore. Not to sound too punk, but the more I think about it, the less I'm a fan of modern cops. It's all coming from a young man who grew up in a Midwestern town, though. I've had nothing but positive interactions, which is to say I've had almost no interactions, but I also have the luxury, the privilege of being a white dude. Little cooking, but some friends and I were talking about that desire to be fringe. It's cool to be uncool, punk or grunge or nerd or metalhead or witch or whatever. And basically we felt that if you don't want to call out injustice for the people who don't have a choice but to be fringe, walking in the door, the transgender, the browns, the yellows, then you don't get to claim it. I agree. I agree 100%. It is a complicated process, though. This is purely my thoughts and my observations here, but it seems to me that people do that because they want to find identity. And then a way to spice up your identity is to feel persecuted or feel like it's a way to create uniqueness, you know? I feel like it is a sort of knee-jerk for if you grow up I'll be very specific. Like, growing up in a small town, crammed full of white people. The easiest way for me to identify myself was by doing the opposite of what everyone else was doing. Therefore, I am unique. Therefore, I have value. The problem becomes when you are on your own path. You're trying to carve out your own uniqueness and your own identity. When another person justifiably says, "Well, hold on, that's bullshit," because this other person has it by default. Then suddenly you feel like your identity has been yanked away, or that somebody's trying to prevent you from staking your claim of value in the world, and that's when it gets weird. That's when, yeah, people try to claim all the hardships and uniqueness they see around because I guess they haven't found anything else to hang their identity hat on yet. Yeah. What killed that guy? I was pretty relentlessly counterculture back in the day. But that's also because the culture I grew up around did not appeal to me at all. No thank you. It was pretty easy to be counterculture when, like, I'm just surrounded by... I mean, it probably would have been even worse now if I had the internet to expose me to ideas. But, yeah, even back in the day, I didn't super get along with the culture I grew up around. I was like into tech, I was into progressive ideas, I was into, like, trying to evolve the human experience. Everyone else was just like, I want to drink beer and get fat. I'm like, ah. I mean, it's also different to me when someone starts exploring themselves versus when someone sees the results of being counterculture, the consequences of such, and are quick to back it at their choosing because they can. Yeah, I agree. Those are two profoundly different things. They sometimes have a similar looking end result, but yeah, one is much more meaningful and I would hope on the long run much more helpful. Or back out. Oh, back out at their choosing. Yeah. Like some people don't get to, what is it called? It's like what is it? Progressive tourism. Protest tourism. What's a frustrating thing? I can't even like pretend to know what that feels like. The only thing that I can claim some amount of knowledge over is that process where guys like me, I'll just say it that way, who have a lot of invisible advantages, feel like their successes are being marginalized merely by trying to explain that other people didn't have those advantages. Like, getting somebody to wrap their head around the invisible like help they've gotten is really, really tough. I've never gone like full what about me mode, but I can understand it. God Christ, this guy. I come into this fight with so little ammo. God, I also miss. I need a big boy. Alright, I need a tiny boy. Fuck! Would be great if glory kills were even a little bit predictable. Well, I'm already dead! What hit? Oh, I thought those stopped! Those weren't firing a second ago. Why does that guy killed me twice in a row now? I come from enough privilege that I can't claim to know the experience of someone who looks like me, grew up surrounded by less resources even. I can give you a quick fix if you do want to know. What do you want to know about what? No one who claimed to be emo and live in a city can touch growing up in the middle of nowhere surrounded by only conservatives who hate your very existence. That's pretty emo. Yeah. There was one and only one black kid at my entire high school. And only that was like the last 2 years I was there. Only one. have any shells. I remember when I said I was gonna chainsaw more, and now I'm not. Those were good times. Okay. Shit. It's a joke, but I have a friend who's a white dude who has 15 years of dreads. And boy, is he looked at in a similar way sometimes? Aw. Why is it a joke? Feels like can't grow hair like that on a prank. My best toast, yeah. It's pretty gross. Nah. I don't know about switching mods anymore. Switching mods is so slow at this point. Figure out the best way to deal with this. Oh, okay. It's a joke that he's judged walking in the door with that hair. Gotcha. I mean, there are definitely places where he would be. Shrimp hands. Oh, yeah. Ugh. Best toast. Not that it's okay, but preteens have been saying forbidden words as peak comedy for a long time. I grew up in a predominantly black neighborhood, but there were still mostly white teachers in the South. I heard a shit ton of racist shit. Yeah. Yeah. I mean, my ex-wife was black, and she attended my family Thanksgiving once, and no one said anything to me. But they said some shit. They said some shit. I don't know, there's moments in my life where it's like, I don't know, I feel like I try to do the right thing, like reach out to people and be nice. And I never really got along with my extended family because they're traditional, we'll say that. But after that I was like, man, fuck y'all. You have never done a damn thing for me. Why should I even try at this point? So I stopped. It felt good. Feels good to, like, trim your emotional investment. My heated gamer moments is calling the game homophobic for not letting me win. If that's the worst it gets. Captain, yeah. I feel like it's tough watching, like, there are movies where like, oh, family's the only thing that matters, and even if you don't get along with them, they're still your family. And I'm like, man, whatever. I don't understand this, like, powerful and nurturing force that people feel in movies towards their family members. Maybe if you've had a hard life and those people have been there for you and supported you in rough times, but I never felt that. My family was just everyone, like, doing their own thing and then pretending to get along during holidays. Like, polite conversation was the best I could hope for, and often it wasn't even that. Like, if I couldn't talk about football, which I couldn't. Holy crap! Whoa! What a 1-2, man. I got punched in the back of the head and then hit with an imp fireball. To me, the US feels more family-focused than here in the EU, where it's more of a collective. Huh, interesting. Huh, yeah. Where it's like, it's the people you're around, your neighborhoods and stuff like that. My grandma was a teacher, and she would take, let's see here. Sorry. That's unlucky. I gotta figure out how to manage that stuff. My dad left me when I was young, and my mother's side of the family were all assholes. Great. Absolutely great. I will say I've had a few moments recently, now that I'm more of an adult, with specific members on my dad's side of the family. I've had a few beats where I'm like, oh, I can actually, like, I can actually understand that we are, like, kind of linked. Like, there is some DNA here. I see it. I feel it. That happened. But they live in, like, Minnesota. So it's like, okay, we email sometimes. My experience is a set of parents who were so nurturing and gentle, I struggle with resentment of overindulging in that and not learning resiliency. Yay, therapists. Ah. So you were raised with tons of support, so now you want that around you? Is that the idea? Yeah, I'm very much the opposite. I feel like I was raised with very little support, so kind of got used to not asking for any of it or accepting any of it. Something that I'm still kind of figuring out about myself. Do you think Vin Diesel's family loves him? They have to. They have to. So many Americans don't leave the U.S. Many times they don't leave their state. It creates a real warped view. Lemongrass Skittles. Or lemongrass Skittles. That's an interesting observation. I wonder how much of it is just like people don't have the money to travel around. Sometimes Steph and I would like go on. I don't know why, but the thought was burned into my head that like we went on a Carnival cruise once, and I had a ton of fun just getting drunk and like talking to random people, but there were people who were minds blown at like an ice blended drink, and I really don't want this to sound as like condescending because I feel like people in rural areas get that enough already, but it was eye opening to me that like somebody had never had like a blue ice blended drink ever. And I was like, man, there's YouTube. Like, haven't you ever gone to a restaurant and like seen it on the menu? I don't know, but it was cool. Like, it was cool to be there in that moment when somebody's brain went just because they didn't ever think that you could have like food that looked like that or was served in that way. So I still the lady in question was like in her 50s. Like, yeah, wait a bit until they hear about the blue milk. Oh, so I had a father who never provided traditional masculine guidance or rigor, etc. I'm a huge dude, and it clashed with the feeling of having to live up to a macho image because of my frame. I'm learning maturity independently, but it's eaten up a lot of my years recently, I feel. That's where the resentment to my parents comes from. Ah, yeah, Tim, I can understand that. Yeah, try to cut your parents a little slack if you can. No one knows how to do it. Everyone's figuring it out as they go. Your parents did the best job they knew how to. That's a cliche, right? I'm talking to myself as much as you at this point. I try to focus on the things that they did right. Because like everyone exits their parents' households with some kind of baggage. However much is variable, but and then it's in your hands to kind of navigate it and build your own life. But I feel like bare minimum, if they got you clothed and fed and out the door alive, at least you have a good starting line. Well, good, it's variable, but parents beat me silly. 2 uncles were druggies, and my aunt knew all about the beatings, but did nothing to tell anyone else. I got away when I was 15 thanks to enrolling in school far away from my hometown. I have zero love for any of them, and I owe them nothing. At least my girlfriend's distant father at least acknowledges my accomplishments and thinks highly of me in that regard, even though I stole away his daughter. Oh, damn. Well, I'm glad that you got out. I'm glad that you have adapted and found a successful life. You deserve a lot of credit for that. I'm out and all good. Exactly, Captain. Exactly. Hey, Homerton. I'm just having some family talk. I gotta take a quick break. I'm gonna have a little snack, use the restroom, stretch my legs, roll up my back a little more. Heavy into that these days. It feels good, man. I feel more limber than ever. Feels good. Can't wait to get back in that gym. Do some rows and some deadlifts. All right, see you guys in just a second.
Elite.
Okay, I'm back. I ate part of a burrito bowl. Now I'm back. I got burrito bowl power. Did I already increment my death counter? Does anyone remember? I think I did, because that's the 3rd death and I'm at 33. So, unless I don't. Forza had an event or something where you got to take a picture of all the cars in the game. There are 691 of them, and I have 400-ish. They have voice lines for when you reach the final milestones. The voice lines are for if you're taking the picture while driving, and not what I'm doing, which is entering photo mode, snapping a shot, backing out, next car, repeat without movement. Makes it pretty funny. Oh, like are they speaking like you're flying down the road, but you're just sitting there taking a photo of a non-moving car? Is that the idea? Past cultist base at least. Not yet, Ghost Spartan. No. In fact, I haven't. I haven't beaten the 2nd level. I have not gotten to cultist base yet today. I'm tripping up pretty hard on the Hell Knights for some reason. It's so weird, man. I feel like every time I sit down and play this game, something else becomes the problem.
We will send
Maybe it is really just
only you.
I tend to think about games like
Rip
a linear series of problems.
is done.
You solve one problem, You adapt, you find what technique you need, and then you move on to the next one. And that's the process of like getting better at games, is you identify why you die, you analyze the problem, and then you think of a new way to play or a new technique. Last time my ammo counts were still not very high, so that's still a lesson I have yet to learn. I'm stuck on the wall. Okay! This game is kind of interesting in that I'm feeling like if I adapt or change my approach, then it causes problems somewhere else. It reminds me of like I think it's good evidence that like Doom's tutorial death incoming. Haven't done it yet, and I still won't. Can I beat Ultra Nightmare without dying in the tutorial? That'll be a good question. I died in the intro arena to 2016 a couple of times, so that was very games journalist of you. Damn it. If by that you mean I managed to provide compelling and socially constructive commentary on the video game, then perhaps yes, it was very games journalist of me. Anyway, that guy still got a swipe on me. Damn. I'm trying to... Maybe I shouldn't be trying to speedrun. It reminds me of an anecdote. I used to have this really old van. Gosh. They joked about... Or they plugged it. Okay, I keep unwinding more of the narrative as I find more parts of the story to tell. You might have heard me refer to my ex-wife previously. Well, while she was in the process of becoming my ex-wife, I had two cars. There was an old car that I inherited from my dad and kind of kept running. It was a '79 Volkswagen Transporter, which is like, it is the hippie bus. And it was really beat up and raggedy, but it was a fun kind of weird project to keep it running. But I also had a newer Volkswagen GTI that I would later total, since I was only one person and could only drive one car when I was moving out of Texas, basically. I had to sell one car, and it was the bus. So you might be familiar with that car because it was plugged on an episode of Inside Gaming when I was trying to sell it on eBay Motors, which was actually a really smooth process. So shout outs to eBay Motors for some reason. Anyway. Gotta get that fuel. Haven't died yet. There was an interesting problem in that car. The oil pressure was low, and oil pressure in that car was very important because it was air-cooled. Which is to say, all it used was oil and air to keep the engine cool. It did not have coolant of any kind. So, keeping the oil both at a good level and also circulating throughout the car constantly was very important, lest my engine literally melt on the road. Old cars have these problems. I remember I saw an oil leak once, where it was like there was just some gasket or some like O-ring maybe that had a crack in it. And there were like a couple of drips of oil on the ground when I left my home or like stayed at a place for a couple of hours. That's concerning, I said. So I poked around. I found a couple of places that, like I cleaned inside the engine, ran it for a little bit. Chatted to sit on the floor of the shower kind of day. Best toast. I hope that's because you're trying to experiment sensually with the world and not because you've had a rough time, but... Anyway, small leak of oil in the car. Had to address it. Clean the engine, saw where the leak was coming from. Ironically, I think it was the oil pressure sensor. It had a thread where it would basically screw into an oil line. Oil conduit, I guess is more what it's called. No? I don't know what that's called. Metal pipe. There we go. That was leaking a little bit, so I put a little plumber's tape on it, screwed it back in. It stopped leaking, but then the leak moved somewhere else. So that was first idea that the system is interconnected, and there may not be such thing as fixing something. It may just be getting it into operating shape. Having worked with computers most of the time before that, my interactions with machines were mostly like, does it work or not? There wasn't a whole lot of like, it works well enough, especially when there's multiple parts interacting with each other. It's like everything has to be exactly right for the system to run and the game to run perfectly. So the car was like, okay, all these things are interconnected. If I fix the leak and like dial up the oil pressure here, it may create problems somewhere else. So because I made like a 30-cent fix, I then took the car to a mechanic who had to pull the engine to get to the oil gaskets. that was not, like... It's not as tragic as it sounds. In another feat of engineering marvels, the pipes delivering oil to the engine, or to the engine compartment for cooling, they had these, like, rubber O-rings in between the fittings. That would, of course, form like a watertight or an airtight seal. Or watertight, probably. They cracked, though. They didn't last forever because they were made of rubber, and when they cracked, then oil would just pour right out of the engine onto the ground. Not quite that dramatic, but it's still a really bad problem to have. And you have to pull the engine out of the car to get at them and replace them. So I'm not sure what the thought was there. I'm sure average motorist would have, like, an engine hoist in their garage, or that you were intended to bring it back into the dealership, or that perhaps that was just the best solution they could find. I don't know.
Behold the fruits of our labor.
You take it to the mechanic. Yeah, I guess that's it. I hated doing that though, because nobody wanted to work on that old piece of shit. Like it was a rough problem. Also, I had no money. Like, what a weird like combination of problems. That's what they want you to do? Gotcha. Yeah, I wonder if that discussion has ever literally happened. Where engineers are, like, putting a car together, figuring out where everything goes, and then at some point they're, like, laying down parts and, like, I guess they're drafting it on paper back in the day. Or in a 3D CAD program, and somebody, like, looks up and they realize, wait a minute, we're putting a part that's going to wear out in, like, 5,000 miles. We're like trying. Why did we socket it away this deep inside the machine? It's not usually the engineers; it's their supervisors. Are you saying that sometimes those things are put in on purpose? What kind of car? Oh, this was a 1979 Type 2 Volkswagen Transporter with no catalytic converter. Wait, no, it did have a catalytic converter. That's right. There's a sticker on the inside door about it. Planned obsolescence? Maybe? Yeah, I'm like... I feel like there's better ways to obsolete a car than to have oil spill out of the engine, but I guess that'll do it. How did this tie back to your separation? I had to sell that car in the course of my separation. Which, the context of that was important because in the past, people have remarked that they remember hearing about that car in an episode of Inside Gaming. Ask a former military mechanic. Yes, they do that shit on purpose. Or as a former military mechanic. Really? Holy shit, I had no idea. I always assumed that, like, things like that had to be oversights or mistakes that were identified too late. I never once considered that somebody would, like, design something to break in an unfixable way on purpose. Wow. My world is open. Having such trouble processing that I just sat there and got swiped. Have you heard of Apple? I mean... yeah, I guess... Is it weird, though, that I actually buy their excuse? That they underclock the CPU and reduce the battery capacity over time? Because that is actually how you maintain batteries and keep them operating, like, keep them delivering steady voltage after a couple of years. What you're talking about is not impossible to fix, it just needs the right tools. I guess you're right. I guess, yeah, it's not like there's a fuse on it, you know? It's more like, by my judgment, the necessity of that part, the inherent replaceable nature of it, and the outrageous effort required to get at it, to swap it around, seems way out of balance. But who knows, you know? Shooklin, thank you for the sub. Maybe they did that in exchange for another trade-off that was even worse. Here I go making excuses for people I never met again. Why do I do that? I feel like it's my empathy exercise. It works for me, I guess. It keeps me grounded. And I guess I'd rather spend my time marveling at the cool things people can do, then assuming that they didn't do them. I don't know. I don't know where I'm going with this. Benefit of the doubt? Yeah, I guess so. Devil's advocate? That's usually more of a negative thing, though. That's like, it's the opposite of devil's advocate. Angel's advocate, we'll say that. Devil's advocate is somebody says like, hey, here's a good thing. And then somebody else says, yeah, but what if it were actually bad? Like, that's being a devil's advocate. Which, when you think about it, boy, that's a dumb thing to do, isn't it? Planned obsolescence isn't a thing that can stop you from making calls eventually versus planned obsolescence for a thing that if it goes wrong all the time, it can kill you and others. Yeah, or just result in outrageous and additional property damage. Yeah. I never even thought about the danger to life. That's certainly something to think about. Shit. I didn't think he would jump. Didn't think he would jump. I forgot that they jump. I thought he was going to sit on his ass and let me shoot him to death. Damn. This is a rough day. A rough day in Doom. What year was the current question? 1979.
Against all the evil that hell can conjure, all the wickedness that mankind can produce, we will send unto them.
Devil's advocate isn't inherently bad. Nothing is perfect, and not looking at alternatives is.
Until it is done.
You know what, Corny? That's very well said. I have to admit. I gotta admit, I read that and I wanted to dunk on it, but I was like, I actually can't. Good point there.
I have located the pre-signal. I will mark it on your HUD.
The move to pull people in for maintenance cash is all kinds of a big push, or all kinds of reasons is a big push. Hold on. I bought a brand new Triumph Cafe Racer a few years ago. You can't buy one of those factory manuals anymore. They want you to pay a subscription fee to get online access to scans of the manual. And then they do this as dealerships as well. I spent $30 for an hour's access to the site and wrote a web scraper for it. Then I spent another $30 for the hour needed to access the site and scrape it. Cool sounding me. That's the coolest thing I've ever heard. Fuck yeah. They don't sell repair manuals anymore? Man. That was my Bible. I had one of those, like, wrapped in... Well, it wasn't wrapped in plastic because I used it all the time. But I definitely had one of those, like, the storage compartment for the van was actually this, like, cardboard pull-down panel that was under the back seat. So I had it tucked up in there. Along with, like, an extra spare part for just about anything that could break at that car. I had a full set of plugs, wires, I had, like, a fuel pump, I had a couple of, like, hoses that I knew would crack. I had replacement hosing for it, a couple of rolls of duct tape, a full complement of tools. Definitely, did more than my share of, like, roadside repairs. That's the closest I think I'll probably ever feel to, like, having my own spaceship, you know? It's like driving through the wastes of Texas in a car that was prone to break down. And, like, having a plan for the day and having that cease the second the car shudders in a really bad way. And you're like, well, time to pull over and just start poking around. Hey! It is kind of romantic, though, I'm not gonna lie. As unpleasant as it was at the time, I do remember those moments fondly. Oh. Growing up in the Southwest and it's the same. Oh, it's the same? Yeah. I guess to some degree, though, I got my fill of things being empty. I saw so many empty fields and, like, drove through just so many empty places. Maybe that's why I feel like, as much as I like the romantic concepts of, like, Star Wars or Star Trek about space exploration, if I think about the reality of it, I'm like, gosh, man, I already know what it's like to drive, like, to see 4 hours of absolutely nothing and then get to where I'm going. I don't know about going somewhere and seeing 20 years of nothing. and then having it be nothing but like rocks when you get there. I mean, that's the Texas experience. You don't need to be an electrician on cars before, and now you do. Huh? Oh, you're just talking about a specific thing? Working on my car is how I got most of my electronics knowledge, because luckily the car was like at a point where its electronics were still extremely rudimentary. Any of the computation was done with mostly mechanical parts. Like they were electronic, but it wasn't like microchips. I think there was one computer in the car, but you needed like a plug-in tool to interact with it. Most of it was just like there was. I think it determines airflow with this like needle that would drag along a conductive surface, and then the conductive surface would send wattage to something that would open or close like airflow into the engine. That's it. It's just that thing. And if that little thing doesn't scrape right, then your engine doesn't run. So it's like, it was cool to work with a machine that was both complicated and large, but still, you could still like open it up and look at it and figure out what it was supposed to do. Oh, a mass airflow sensor? They still use those? Really? And talk about parts that die and like throw very strange very strange symptoms when they're going out. There was another car, another old Volkswagen. Dad liked those for some reason. It had one of those, except like the needle that dragged along actually just cut through the conductive surface, so it wasn't conducting anymore. But it would be very erratic, obviously. So like the engine's rattling around, and then the needle just like hits a spot where it doesn't conduct electricity for a second, and then airflow to the engine just shuts off. That's cool. That was a fun thing to try to figure out. These days when they start to die, though, they send a check engine light, and you can usually read it from the code. Ah, okay. Yeah, well, that sounds extremely easy. Man. Is it... Cool sounding. Are you a mechanic? I'd love to pick your brain about that experience and how it's changed over time, depending on how long you've been one. These are, let's see here. Cars drop back to default settings. Oh, okay. I have never worked on or serviced a car made after, like, the mid-90s. Grew up working on cars because of my dad? That's awesome. Do you like it? CDPR said if they're going to be cyber pets. I don't think that's been discussed, no. I mean... I guess I don't know specifically how Cyberpunk is with animals, but it's possible there may not be any. They may just all be robots. That's Blade Runner rules anyway. Yeah, it's fun. Didn't do it pro, did it summers until in college, worked on planes in college too. Ah, that sounds awesome. Man, working on big machines is really fun. It's one of the things I like about PCs, just diving into all the complexity of it. Trying to play a little slower. Trying to just be a little more relaxed. Oh, my cyber dog. Hey, there's always DLC. Cyberpunk car looks dope at least. Yeah, I'm curious. Is it gonna be like? Are they gonna have a GTA's amount of cars in that game? I'm really curious about just the scope of some of these features they've shown. Is it really going to be GTA, but like also you can have RPG character building? That'd be wild, man. Just broke my D-pad playing MK. How's everyone else's night going? Oh man. That's fun. Who are you playing as? I put in a little bit of time with RoboCop, and it's like, he feels like Sub-Zero to me. Like, he's got really basic tools, and it doesn't feel like there's a whole lot of artistry to how you play him. Which is, I feel like, probably good. He's a good character for me to mess around and learn some of the basics of, like, distance and pacing and combos in that game. Oh, you're Scorp? Okay. I mean, think what we take for granted sometimes. What you're doing right now and how absurdly complicated it is to make something like Doom. Yeah, Doom. The operability of the internet in general The internet is built on so many stacked legacy systems that it's really not supposed to work. And especially not supposed to work as efficiently as it does. It's kind of astounding how much clutter there is in the design, deployment, and operation of the internet. But you really can't, like, everything's built on each other. All these decisions were made before there was any notion of what the scale would be. Ah, shit! Oh, I don't. Oh, okay. So I gotta. If I don't have full shotgun shells, and I mean full, trying to auto-load an Arachnotron sounds like an unsafe idea. I'm gonna run out of ammo before it dies. Started watching MK11 Aftermath VOD on YouTube. Ended up watching MK11 the movie the rest of the night. Yeah, Corny? Oh! I'm glad that he felt like watching the whole thing. Man, that game's good. And also just the presentation makes it really hard to, like, put it down. I didn't expect to play that in one sitting either, but I had a great time. Save those chainsaws. Ghost Spartan, I think I'm moving away from hoarding chainsaws after the first couple of Arachnotrons. I guess the Arachnotrons are still getting me. On that note, recommend just running past. Hit the Arachno with a sticky bomb to the turret for a quick stun, then use the health pack in the train for the heal. Oh, for that guy. Okay. Oh yeah, that's a really good idea. I'll do that next time. That is definitely one you can skip. Oh, you saw the MK animated? Yeah, that was shockingly good. Way more brutal than I thought it would be. Or that I thought it could be, with, like, the art style as it appears. It seems like it was gonna be some kind of Western anime Avatar kind of deal. Teen Titans look. I'm probably exposing my ignorance by saying that, but guess what? It's the internet. You can't contain me. You want my takes to be colder for you? I'm burning your tongue a little bit. Have you seen all the MK11 friendships? Not yet. I actually wanted to do that as a stream to just play, like, do unranked and go through every character until I got him win, and do the friendship. Operation Friendship. No! You will not contain anything. You will fail. You will fail, Beauty Human. Oh. Boys got hops. Yeah, a lot of the friendships are callbacks to MK2. Which is, you know, I'm okay with. I think MK is like... MK's got a lot of lore. We'll say that. Let's see here. I mean, tell any general or logistics officer in history about Discord or the internet in general, near instantaneous communication almost anywhere on the planet. Yeah. Audio and video. Perfect digital preservation. Instantaneous lookup of freely accessed information. It's an amazing thing for the human experience. Unlimited boobs. That most of all. Think about all... Sir Isaac Newton. Storied scientist, amazing thinker. Please deploy your brain, and I want you to imagine all the boobs you possibly can. Albert Einstein, thank you for joining us. How many titties can you imagine, sir? Imagine they're all compressed into a singularity of time and space. Albert, how many titties are in that black hole? 12? Haha. Oh, Albert. What if I were to tell you? There exists a land, marvelous land of infinite breasts. Could you even conceive of it? There's that, like, concept that there's like a fixed amount of time you could take somebody and teleport them, like, ahead in time. and society and the human experience would be so different that they would actually straight up go insane. Whoa! Like straight up insane, just because it's too much. I feel like that's the moment for anyone that existed before the internet. Once you hear that there's non-stop breasts somewhere, that's it. Your brain just shuts down. I feel like the fact that society is still operating somewhat, I mean, that's can be a little arguable these days, but the fact that things were still moving along, and we still had unlimited free porn available at any time we wanted, like, that's a pretty powerful statement that there's not going to be a whole lot that can happen in this world that will shut down the human experience. If anything would have done it, it should have been that. People still went to work somehow. What? Oh, I missed. I missed. It's okay. Where's the other one? Oh, why'd I switch from classic weapon mode back to this one? Oh! Sorry, I'll get into that in just a moment. Where'd you go? Where are you? Oh, shit! Ah! Fuck! Ah, I missed all those shots. Yeah. Wow. Hey, Tom. I changed the gun because I like looking at the gun models more on the side than in the center. I think they look prettier that way. And I like looking at the gun models. Like, the fact that there are gun skins is really the thing. I'm not too fond of this one. I just picked this one to mix it up, but you don't see a lot of the skin when it's centered. Nor do you see a lot of the animations or the articulation, and I think they did a really good job on that, too. Whoa! But the rocket penis? I'll go back. Don't worry. I mean, so I'm gonna go ahead and beat the game right now. I'm gonna go ahead and do that. But then after that, I'll probably play again just for fun. And I will change back. Not specifically on the next one, but over the course of the next few days, I'm sure I'll want to mix it up. That's fundamentally why I'm doing this too. I'm mixing it up, keeping it fresh. Keeping you guessing, like you did. Gotta keep you guessing. Who's gonna be on the stream today? What's happening? Is it even a Twitch stream? Oh no. $16 shells. That's plenty of explodey bits. Can you hit me with the orbs from here? Test me with your orbs, spider. Fuck. Three more, right? Two more? Okay.
The con maker is nearby.
Okay.
She is inside.
Thank you for the anonymous gift, whoever did that.
Mark her location on your HUD.
What kind of philosophical questions do you want 2077 to address, if any? That's a really tough question.
This is located just above your location. My scans indicate there is a lift at the center of this facility.
I think, from a structural standpoint, from like a writing standpoint, it'll be tough for the game to confront philosophical questions. I think the idea in a game like that is that you have your window to the world, which is V. In the case of Witcher, it's like Geralt. They are kind of by definition have mutable morality, so they don't assume a standpoint or a viewer or a view on behalf of the player. I would expect that maybe even more true in Cyberpunk, because V is not a pre-existing character that they have to ride around or to in any stretch. Even though Geralt seemed like he was a pretty malleable lump of clay to work with. So what I expect to happen is that like the game will confront you with ideas, but maybe not ask you to pass judgment on them or decide to take a stance on them, philosophically speaking. I do hope the game has some acknowledgement about like hyper-capitalism or hyper-consumerism, which is kind of the cornerstone of cyberpunk society, because it is in an almost GTA way. It's just, you know, the United States blown up to the nth degree. So I hope that's tacitly acknowledged in the game somehow. I'm sure it will be, based on a lot of the advertisements I've already seen and things like that, and the fact that certain brands give you stats. Like that's basically it. Apart from that, there's all the obvious stuff. I think, like trying to retain humanity in like in an overcrowded, crime-ridden landscape, transhumanism. At what point do you stop being you? Kind of stuff. Like, I feel like there's a lot of surface level stuff. I haven't really thought beneath that, to be honest. I'll ruminate on it. There's a great Infinite Monkey Cage episode. Infinite Monkey Cage? Huh. Episode on the question of rights and existence in AI and what it means to be alive. Interesting. Yeah, the 3 dicks thing. Can you have 3 dicks? Question number 1. Can I have 3 dicks? Question number 2. Can I have 4? Got my September week off to book to delve into the game? Yes. The timeline didn't line up quite so sweetly, but I was looking forward to joking about quitting my job to play Cyberpunk full time. I just noticed that in Forza, the tires render them being stretched out under the high G-force. God damn, it's fucking gorgeous. Damn, Trey. Is this in Motorsport, or does that even happen in Horizon?
Sign of your equipment launcher. The flame belch is now ready for your approval.
All right, here we go. Here we go. Yeah. Question 3. How many balls is that? Question 4. Can it be more? I'll go with armor again. Trying to think of what's been getting me. The
portal is activated and
the Hell Knights are catching me, and I feel like they didn't used to. The Hell Knight fights before you have dash are like aggravating because they're faster than you. I guess in the inside circular arena you have the swinging bars. In the smaller circular arenas, you have the platforms you can jump up and down from. That helps a little bit. God, those arenas are tiny. I feel like by the time you get away from the Hell Knight, that means you have to, by definition, be close to like 8 other demons. Nah, we'll figure it out. Imagine 4 balls on the end of a dude. Oh, Zyborn Clock was steampunk. Although, I now realize that Cyberpunk will be a bad game if there's not a Johnny Five Aces reference in it, and I mean that. I mean that, and I'm not taking it back ever. I still gotta go to Freddie Wong's office and see the hollowed text, the sacred scripture. Okay, I can pocket 3 gas. That might help with my Hell Knight woes. That was pretty sick. He like jumped at me while I was exploding. Oh. Johnny Five Aces needs to be a thing in every game. I agree. I agree. There's nothing else we can all rally around so completely. Nothing else that unites the world. Oh, no, the dick thing. Never mind. No, I was talking about cocks. My bad. There's a Five Aces reference in New Vegas. That's right. Man. Proof positive that the crew at Obsidian is just the chillest. I really need to play Outer Worlds. Here I am playing Doom Eternal. No, I gotta do it. So I've been wondering about this. I've been getting saving throw first. Maybe I shouldn't. Maybe speed boost will actually make the rest of Eternia... No, that's not this place. Exultia. And the Hell sections. Maybe that'll make it a lot safer. I actually feel like speed boost after Glory Kill might be the right call there. And not just... As soon as, like, because I feel like I'm strapping on a diaper a little too early, basically, because I lose it in this fight so often. Where'd the scope go? Can you turn that off? What? Scope? Oh, the lack of UI here? So that's in the game. Is it UI? Yes, crosshair style. If you just change it to dot instead of full, then you just get a white dot all the time. It's pretty sick. It's helping my aim. Like, to the point where I think I might just try to go with dot in every game that lets me. If I'm trying to be ace pro. Oh shit. Oh, he coming. Oh, I shouldn't do that. That's racist. Yep. Fuck, man. Oh, he's not dead. He's not dead. Okay. Why did that? Okay. Changing mods actually takes a long time. It takes a long time. I think I'm not properly respecting exactly how dangerous that is to do in the middle of a fight. Can't wait to see Cyberpunk speedruns. Well, I feel like games like that, I feel like their speedruns end up being like 4 minutes long. I feel like Cyberpunk might be that kind of game where if you just know where to go, and you know how to like hack into this thing, and you make this like one stim that's super powerful because you know the like lookup tables or something, then you like huff cocaine and like punch the bad guy once in the face, break his jaw, and then the game's over. I feel like it'd be something like that. Oh no, go deep. I do remember seeing, like, it's one of those things where the joke is that it, like, it's funny because somebody's saying something in an ethnic way, which I think is kind of like shades of Ugandan Knuckles thing. Shades of that, I think, is the idea. I'm not saying that that's just the discourse that I saw. You can take it or leave it, whether or not you agree with it. I don't mind it myself. I don't think there's anything mean-spirited about it. Oh, aren't you gonna blow up? There we go. That's kind of how I end up judging these things. Melee to cancel the animation, make it faster. Oh, what the? Hold on a second. Let me try that. Ooh, that's a good point. Okay. What? That's more buttons to hit. Okay. I gotcha. Thought the wrong chunk of that imp was another bad guy. Avoid cats running is also funny. Yeah, fair. There's a lot going on in that video, and all of it's pretty wholesome and pure, so I don't see the need to feel offended, but that's not why it's funny to... Oh, hold on. That's not why it's funny to me, but I don't know. Whether you feel uncomfortable saying is up to you. I think it's funny. Alright. always good to get your report card signed, you know. When the Twitch inspectors come around at the end of the month, I don't want them finding any gamer moments in here. Twitch said that they would take me to the arcade and give me $5 if I had a good stream report this month. And I think I figured out the stacker machine, so I'm gonna get that iPod. Can't wait. Extra cheese on your pizza? Yeah. That has to be like an #1 parenting trick, right? Present something as a reward that costs like 60 cents as a motivation for doing something. Have you seen videos of game developers watching speedruns of their games? I haven't yet, but they always sound disappointed. I would imagine so. If I made this incredible game and somebody just skipped the whole thing, I'd be like, oh. Hey, what's up, Pipes? Yeah, I'm doing good, man. I'm doing alright. Life, for me at least, you know, a lot of things to be upset about in the world. I'm certainly upset about those, and we'll continue working on, supporting, and donating behind those causes, but beyond that, I'm finding a lot of things to be happy about in life, so. And now I got Dash, so that's good. Now the game's real. Or at least it will be next level. Some of the devs are impressed by that shit. Yeah, I imagine it's like equal parts delight and terror, watching somebody just completely deconstruct your game in front of you. Some are super impressed, some are not. Yacht Clubs I didn't see, but they've been watching Shovel Knight at GDQ for years. Yeah, and Yacht Club is also impossibly wholesome. Man. I got scammed with an iPod giveaway once. It was a cheap knockoff from China. It had 256 megabyte SD card in it. They said I didn't spend any actual money. Was the SD card swappable? All right, let me think about this. What's my technique here? What's my play? Oh, shit. This guy's not going down. Please! Okay, he was glory killable a second ago. Holy moly. They regain a lot of health if you miss that glory kill window. Dang. As a real gamer, what type of game would you make if you had unlimited budget? Also, what would be the themes? Man, I don't know. It would probably be something like Cyberpunk. Truth be told. I've always had this really dorky idea that I came up with. Like, I took a couple of game dev classes in college, which did exactly what they were supposed to do and taught me about what it would be like to be a game developer. I did have a couple of dorky ideas, though, that in a very Zyborn clock sort of way were just, you know, amalgamations of the things that I liked all crammed into a container, but
to provide additional power to your ship.
Yeah. Cool sounding's got it. 1, unlimited boobs. 2,
Finding more batteries.
double the amount of boobs.
To utilize the full functions of your command
Doom
station.
2077. That's basically hard reset, which is also great. I've always liked RPG combat systems that have like rhythmic or like input complexity to them. Xenogears is kind of that. Thousand Year Door is 100% that. Mario RPG. Legend of Dragoon. Mother 3. There are a fair number of JRPGs that have like little like rhythm-based or input-based sequences to like improve your damage or whatever. I was gonna make something like that where like where it's like almost a magical system. So you're in a realm where people can channel magical abilities, but only when they're listening to music and like grooving out to a solid track. That it's almost like channeling the Force, but you have to be listening to a rhythm to tap into it. It's like the rhythm of nature kind of thing. So you, as the RPG combat hero, would have like this could either be like some weird modern day thing or like some, again, another magical trinket, but basically would have to like load tapes or records into a player to do your attacks, and then there would be like a, I guess now that I'm refining the idea a little bit, I could see a musical system kind of like Doom's where there are different phrases and parts of the song that get mixed together as the song goes forward, so it doesn't sound rote every time. Necrodancer, sort of, but more like, more menu-based combat. Necrodancer is, yeah, it's more of a roguelike. I was thinking more like, at the time, certainly was thinking more along the lines of like a PlayStation 2 caliber RPG. You know, some kind of like 40 to 60 hour experience with cutscenes and dialogue and stuff. Yeah, musical persona is kind of, yeah, exactly. But I like the idea of like the music you choose. It's not only the music you hear, but also the patterns that you have to match to like execute the attack properly. And faster ones obviously do more damage, but are more difficult. I had the same idea, but it was for a superhero. He could do different things with sound waves based on the song he was listening to. Oh, okay, that's cool too. You make yours so I could play it. Do you plan on doing 100% full playthrough of Cyberpunk when it first comes out? So trying to figure out if I want to get it or not. I can't say because I have no idea what that's going to look like. I'm very excited about it, and if it's good, I'll probably play it a lot. I don't know that I'm going to dedicate to like militaristically finding every last piece of content in the game because I don't know how feasible that is. But yeah, I'm going to be playing it a lot. I'm comfortable saying that. You can only get 103% if you get the 3 dick perk. That's like, it's like a long string of quests that are only available at certain windows of total playtime. And if you don't make it to this city by like 20 hours in, it just disappears. Man, there was some shit in Suikoden 2 like that. Christ. And you needed to get all the characters to get the good ending too. I don't know that I've ever played a game with like more obscure stuff in it than Suikoden 2. Like, content that the game almost implies you should be able to find yourself, but man, would it be difficult. Or extremely easy to just miss and never know it was there. God, that game rules. I remember rigidly following a missable character's guide on GameFAQs while playing that.
There is a central power core nearby. You can use it to activate the mech and clear a path forward.
Is this a personal best for the day? Because I think it is. That's kind of depressing. But that's okay, we're doing it. So they're doing expansions for Cyberpunk, like big meaty DLC. I don't know if they have said that. That's certainly the going... There are plans? Okay. I was like, that's certainly the going assumption, but now that I think about it, I can't remember if they ever straight up super officially announced it. But there are plans. Okay. This part is very cool. I agree. Oh, I didn't even look at what the weekly challenges are. Oh, it's the same ones. Okay. Also already got my MC skin, so... Who cares? And now I've got 3 guns! This game's basically over. I feel like it's a very generic answer, but I'd want a game that plays like The Witcher 3 but set in a D&D setting. Huh. Now, you just like the D&D setting that much? I gotta admit, I'm not at all familiar with, like, Dungeons & Dragons canon. Aside from... No, wait. I think it's Dragonlance. Never mind. Okay, so I literally know nothing about it. I know Forgotten Realms is a thing. And that's it. Yeah, which D&D setting? I guess that's a good point. I played a little bit of Baldur's Gate. And I played like, what, there was a D&D beat 'em up for PS2. It's like when Dungeons & Dragons was making a serious play into trying to be like a full-on entertainment brand instead of just pen and paper. And it worked. I guess they always had books. Okay, this fight can be rough. Do you know about Shadowrun? I've read the Dungeon Master's Guide for Shadowrun because I was gonna DM a campaign, but then that didn't end up happening. So I'm familiar with like the world rules of Shadowrun. I'm familiar with like the die roll rules of Shadowrun. Yeah, Baldur's Gate Dark Alliance. That's the one. Also, hey, Urgasplit, good to see you. So, I don't know much, but this fight stopped me cold in Ultra Nightmare. I've gotten through it a few times. It can be rough though. There's more arena than you think is what I have to remind myself of. Like, there's this whole thing back here. There's some platforms like over here I think you can go to. So there's places to go. It can feel really claustrophobic though. Okay, I'm still one fuel away. Just finally, okay. What hit me? Fuck. Now it's mean. Never picked up that other fuel. Okay. What? Oh. Ooh. No. Shit. Another one? Shit. Oh! I did not expect that to come out so fast. Oh. Wow. Oh. This game's mean. Keeps you honest. No slacking off when you're on Doom Eternal's clock. We did it. Read it. A boat. Thank you, Lego. Yeah, attractive chocolate. I think I have to agree with that. Sekiro's final boss was so memorable. Best recent boss in a long time. Fuck is behind me? Oh. Well, that could have been it for me. Dang. Melees from gargoyles are horrible. They got blade hands after all. Whew. Oh, are you talking about Swords of the Coast? Hmm. Yeah, is there a Vin Diesel movie based off his D&D character? I think you're referring to The Last Witch Hunter. Which is weird. You'd think that, like, if Vin liked his character enough to make a whole movie about it, you'd think that'd be like a really cool character, right? To be fair, though, I had a very skewed first watching of Last Witch Hunter, which I'm still very bitter about. Still very bitter about. Call you squirted honey into your eye. Well, that's a story I can't wait to hear. Were you, like, trying to put it on your face for, like, skincare? I'm trying to see if I can guess this before you get there. Is the film any good? I don't know. Stephanie literally yelled over the whole movie. It was an accident. Okay. Let me see if I can guess in any way the circumstance that had your eyeballs anywhere near honey. Were you like gripping a packet too hard and trying to open it and then it squirted out when you like opened it up? K-Streak, thank you for your love. Ah, beekeeping. That must have been it. It was in a bottle. Okay, that's more confusing. Was the bottle right side up or upside down when the honey got into your eyeball? I'm gonna figure this out. Right side up. Okay. Okay. Last theory and then I'll give up. There was some dried honey on the spout, so when you squeezed it, nothing happened. So you were squeezing it down to try to get it to open up so that you could get some honey out of it, and then you looked at it exactly at the second that the like honeyed blockage broke free, and then you squirted some honey into your eyeball. There. I know I solved the case. Saint of Swole, thanks for converting to a sub. That's really close? Yes. I'm kind of an internet detective. Whoop. The internet turned on Dan Harmon? Why? What'd he do? Yeah, I'm Batman, you guys. This is absolutely the run. Why did Stephanie yell throughout Last Witch Hunter? I don't know, she didn't like the movie. She got something against Vin Diesel, I guess. There's some honey clogging up the hole, and I squeezed a little too hard when holding it, so a little bit shot out? Okay. Oh, Harmon got me too'd? Well, let's be careful about this sort of thing. Like, if you know what's being said, then say it. But if it's just thoughts, you know, I don't want to be spreading misinformation, that kind of deal, if possible. Especially with a treasure like Dan Harmon. I actually don't know him at all, so I guess Rick and Morty is funny. Oh, he got me too'd a while ago. Oh, jeez. That's right, there's an arachnotron here. I think if I just shoot it until it's dead. Oh, he apologized and admits his mistake. He has a drinking problem. Okay. So he got outed and he was like, yeah, it's true. Him admitting to harassing one of his writers and later wrote a big open apology. Okay. The person he apologized to retweeted it and said, "This is how you apologize, take notes." Okay. Sounds unfortunate, but sounds like everything's being handled in an adult way. Oh, Bon Appetit Test Kitchen? I have not. Or wait, no, I do. I'm sorry. I thought Test Kitchen was a different show for some reason. Yeah, I've watched some Bon Appetit. I saw like a there's some kind of headline about it today, right? Some kind of issue with the cooks there. Yeah, Kala, I saw something about it. I saw the name in a headline and I was like, what's going on? But I didn't actually read the story. Oh yeah, Guerin, people are just catching me up on Dan Harmon, I guess. I am not up on gossip and things. I've been kind of out of the loop lately, and it's not been bad. I still follow, you know, a lot of stuff, but hey, what's up, Chris of the Stone Age? Ooh, good to see you again. Editor-in-Chief was exposed. Test Kitchen people reveal he's been paying people of color disproportionately. Gotcha. Okay. Well, good. Get that shit out here. Drag it on out. Ah! I thought I'd already passed it. Well, I'm not dead yet. Oh, I see. He's only been paying white personalities for appearances. Exposure bucks. The most valuable currency of all. I'm gonna say that's worth it. That actually didn't take that much ammo either. Yeah, Daizen, this is a pretty dangerous thing, huh? Getting news from Twitch chat. I'd feel a little more comfortable with it if I were at least knowledgeable about what's going on, but I am not, so it's kind of being a vector for whatever people say at this point, which kind of puts me on edge a little bit. Kind of does, I'll be honest. Don't think, oh, apologies don't mean much these days, look for behavior changes? Yeah. I mean, that's always been, ugh. That's just been my philosophy in general for a long time. Like, words are easy, and some people can't even manage those, but if you got words, you got the easiest thing. What is it actually going to change? I don't even know if Chapel show's worth a watch from the UK? Huh. Do you mean Chappelle? I don't know who started the exposing, but many of the BA chefs made comment on it, saying they'll refuse to make more videos until something happens. Okay. I'm glad that, like, I'm glad that there's so much momentum behind all this, and some things are actually changing. Like, this is the inherited benefit of all the protesting that's been going on, is it creates an environment where people feel like they can actually come forward, and since there's so much momentum behind it all, things do actually change. It's so wonderful. It's like, God, this is how it should be all the time. Why isn't it like this all the time?
The betrayer's life signal is nearby.
Or this is on my mind just because Steph's been playing a lot of COD lately, which has been great for me because I've been really enjoying watching her play. However, they did announce like that they're going to be much more stringent on enforcing community guidelines, and it's been great. It's been great. Just some of the dumb shit that people got away with naming their characters was kind of absurd, and I'm sure if they announced that in a vacuum, they'd get brigaded by all the gamers for silencing their rights to be called, like, MAGA Trump forever or something like that. Not that that in itself is a slur, but come on. Anyway, there was some other stuff, and it's just gone. It's gone. It's so much more civil now. It's so much more cultured. Like, it's adult. Ah. It could have been this way the whole time. Just needed the right time to, like, pounce on it, I guess.
The extraction point has been identified.
You don't have rights in regards to private companies? Yeah. It's just, it's wagered against the, the goodwill of their populace, and for the longest time, the one angry gamers of the internet had, had a stranglehold on the narrative because they were the only ones willing to scream non-stop about it. So, like, now somebody else is screaming non-stop, and finally things are starting to move a little bit. It's just like, God, yeah. I saw your comment though, Doctor, about how this all probably wouldn't be happening if people were employed. Yeah, I tend to agree. But that's the thing. Like, I mean, the utter irony is that if the administration had handled the corona outbreak responsibly, we would be open by now. New Zealand just reopened because they handled it. South Korea is basically there. Thumbs up our asses over here, though. That's the thing that doesn't make sense. For everybody that, like, desperately wanted a haircut, couldn't wrap their heads around the fact that the faster they comply, the sooner it all goes back to normal. But all the protests are slowing it down, you damn idiots. Anyway, sorry, I'm venting now. I should be paying attention to video games. That's what really matters here. It's just a bummer. It's a bummer. But at least what I'm trying to do is just track the things that are actually changing and actually getting better for my own sanity, and my own hope, really. You think guy's got little water wings on, little like rubber bumpers on his arm. Shit! Fuck, man. Ah, yeah. Something got me from behind. I didn't expect there to be so many dudes all cluttered up there. That's really frustrating. Oh, there was a Caca demon behind me. Damn it. I'm running into a lot of dudes and getting caught from behind a lot. Shit. Ah. I did not kill nearly enough stuff with the rampage. Fuck it. Thought the gun was still on it. Jeez. Not gonna die to that. Not today, Satan. Literally not today, Satan. Dark Lord. Maui's open. I think the right time. Jesus. COVID has people at home seeing their government not give a fuck. Oh, yeah. I gotcha. Yes, the right time. Sure. They're not stressed about making rent because they already didn't make it. I'm like sitting around wanting something to do. Not today, Icon of Sin. There we go. Pop-Tart. Yeah, that... You're right about trying to hold things in or suppress frustrations, but I think you also have to be mindful of the manner in which you vent and manage those feelings. It's possible to, I think, manage stress and frustration in a constructive and destructive way. And I don't know that me just sort of venting on stream is necessarily the most constructive thing. Especially because, you know, it reminds people of frustrating topics that they may not have the emotional endurance to think about at the time.
Has been restored. You will be able to access the entire ship.
Why does Gwent have a battle pass? Because it's free to play. Isn't that usually the 1-2 punch?
Sentinel energy levels rising. Re-establishing power to core and supplementary systems.
Gunkier, thank you for the Prime sub. That was a while ago. I apologize. Got a little distracted. Went into Doomland.
The ice bomb modification to your equipment launcher has been completed. Once fired, the bomb will douse nearby enemies in freezing gases. You'll have to manually toggle the launcher to fire either ice bombs or frag grenades.
Yeah, I guess it's a good point, Warren. There are a lot of full-price games that also have battle passes these days. I don't know though. The battle pass stuff ostensibly is all content that was added post-launch, so doesn't that kind of even out? I don't know. Gonna do the podcast with the boys on Wednesday? That's, as far as I know, yes. We haven't really discussed it for this week, but I think so. Damn right. Raid Shadow Legends has one. Best game has the best features. Imagine dying here of all places. I think I got close to dying in here once. Yeah, that would be a bummer. Use the Riptorn to cheese the weapon masteries? Yeah. I mean, if I get to the point in the run where that matters, I will certainly do that. Don't worry about that. I pretty much stack up all of my upgrade points so I can upgrade the Super Shotgun to max as soon as I get it. I think I went this one first, yeah. Why does he have all this in his ship? I guess because he inherited his ship. They don't really tell you anything about the ship. aside from just generally what it is. They don't tell you how he got it, or what condition he got it in, or what it was doing before, anything like that. Oh, super shotty and chain gun? Why, with mobile turret, or the shield? Will eventually break you and affect you. Good advice from my psychiatrist was let it out in a way that is good for you, right? Talk to someone, sing, whatever feels good to you. After suffering and going through hell of my own, the PTSD broke me, no matter how well I held it in. It wasn't me anymore. Tried to hurt myself daily. I cried for hours, even yelled at my loved ones. Don't let your frustrations get that far. Good idea. Oh, mold turret is crazy strong? Really? Okay. Okay. I haven't experimented much with mobile turret, but I will. It seems like a DPS dump. Or sorry, yeah, basically. It seems it like basically evaporates Hell Knights. I like that about it. But until today, Hell Knights were never really that much of a problem for me. Hey! Where'd you go? Shit! Too much shit on my desk, man. I just needed... Oh, you can dash when it's upgraded? Okay, yeah, that seems pretty good then. TARDIS, thank you. Another month of epic gamer action. You know it. Not dying on the wall, always a good move. Oops. Oops, missing 2 shots in a row, also a great idea. God damn it. That's right, they will come for my ass. Forgot about that.
The Hell Priest is somewhere in this facility. I cannot pinpoint his exact location at this time.
Oh, Limited, you saw the 2.5 hour run? I haven't watched that yet. I need to, though. Might as well. Maybe I'll be able to do that tonight. Let's see how late this goes. Wanted to get some Final Fantasy XIV in. Oh yeah, didn't need that. Well, whatever. Get the ammo barrel upgrade ASAP. Helps a lot here. Good point. Forgot about that one. Yeah, I need 2. Do I need that before weapon switching? Probably, yeah.
Is my time every day. Let's see if you're strong enough to survive this cursed season.
Yeah, this is a very barrel intensive level.
The Slayer has arrived. All mortally challenged personnel, please be advised.
Don't remember where the next suit icon is. I know that there are plenty in this level, but nothing behind me, is there? No? Fuck! Fuck! There we go. Fuck! Both my dashes ran out. What's up, JC? Welcome. How are you doing tonight? Terrible shot. Okay. Just woke up from a nap filled with just a few bouts of sleep paralysis, but other than that, pretty good. 2 hours? Yeah, okay. You feel refreshed? And not paralyzed? Aw, man. That was right before that fight, too. Now, I could have gotten this already. Hey, fresh towel. Hope life is going great for you lately. It is, and you know what? I hope the same for you, too. Oop. How bad can life be for me when I'm playing Doom and hanging out with cool people? Oh! Gotta drink a lot of water to feel refreshed? Well then, hydration check. And you know, you can get your hydration with G Fuel, which is now 30% off at gfuel.com using code SIRLAR. Just a little shout out for the G Fuel fam. Shit. He mad. What? Okay. This feels more deliberate, feels more controlled. Does G Fuel have diet options? I mean, they have sugar-free G Fuel, which has 0 calories. They also have caffeine-free G Fuel, in case you just want that hydration mix. Any Jedi Power Battle streams planned soon? Yes, this Thursday, I think, is when I'm gonna try that game again. And pray to God that I can get past the Coruscant level. If it freezes on Coruscant again, I'll tell you what, I'll have a backup. I'll get it ready to emulate on Dreamcast. Start over on Dreamcast, I guess. Hey, E. Compton, how's it going? Instead of ripping and tearing, have you perhaps considered tearing and ripping? I don't know about that. I've spent so long living my life this way. Can't imagine doing it any other way. Hell yeah. Rocket launcher. Not dead. He recovered before the rocket got there. And because I had to mantle, I took nearly fatal damage. Fuck. Something very angry behind me. Very angry. Die already. Also, man, getting the quicker dash is so important, I feel like. Pretty critical survival tool. Where'd you go? Where are you? Oh. Oh. That dedication to start power battles over. I don't know. It's once you know what to do, I could just sprint through all the levels. I wouldn't get those upgrades for Plo Koon, and that wouldn't be right. Can't do my boy that way. But at least the frame rate will be maybe higher, and there will be polygons. Yes, attractive chocolate. Dying starts the game entirely over. You must defeat the entire video game without dying. Yeah, the old Dark Souls sprint. The hydration mix is so fucking good. I'm drunk and literally forgot it existed. Ah! That's what it's best for. Getting those electrolytes back in your system. Keep the party bus moving. Okay. Need more G Fuel. Don't we all? Does G Fuel fuck up your sugar levels too bad with the sugar option? I'm diabetic, so I have to be careful. Need something to keep me awake, though. That's a good question. I don't think I'm equipped to answer or speak to that. I will say, it does have a nutrition label. So you can see exactly how much sugar is in a serving. And then a serving is like a scoop full. So you can choose how much of a scoop full to use. So if you know like exactly how much sugar you need to take to like balance your blood sugar out, you could just kind of eyeball it with a scoop. I don't know if that works. I'm not a doctor. So I hope you don't go into diabetic shock because of that. Kiri Corey, thank you for the Prime sub. And yes, this is definitely the run. I'm going to use the restroom though, because this room is scary. I don't want to do it while I have to attend to my administration, so I'll be right back.
A night court for the very best in comedy.
Ah, okay. Center my chakras. Align my energies. Alright, I'm on Freezy Grenade, that's good. Drunk cooking. It's a wonderful pastime. Oh, you gotta stand in the thing, right? Drop down! There you are. I'm stupid. Why did I get close? Oh, okay. Got dealt with, though. Not doing so hot on armor, but... Whew. I just clicked a link for titty twerking. It was just bouncing titties. Can't really complain. Feel kind of bamboozled. Yeah, it implies that something like... Oh, they found a new way to bounce a titty. Oh, no, it's just the same old way. Oh, okay. I understand. Shouldn't have done that. Shouldn't have clicked on that. No. Hold on. Is there like a health something? That'll help. It's something. I left clicked, so I shot a rocket into the mod thingy. Hurting myself terribly. There's got to be stuff left in some of these arenas. Watch me fall off the map. Die instantly. Hey, here we go. Hey! It's fine. No problem. Why worry? Why? Hey! No problem. Why worry about it, you know? Hey! Hey! No reason to be stressed here. Take it easy. Everybody's just here taking it easy. That's all we're doing. The Dr. Kane. Thank you for the Prime sub. Crisis averted. Exactly, Mike 8. Thank you for the sub. Thank you guys. Thank all of you for your stalwart dedication and support of demons getting shot. Ah! Ah! Says that health pickups on Ultra Nightmare are actually worth something unlike Doom 2016. Yeah, they're pretty chunky. Health pickups in general are like this game is pretty. It operates on a razor's edge for sure, even more than 2016 did. You take a lot of damage very quickly, but you can also recover a lot of damage very quickly. So it's like it's always on the edge of a knife for sure, which is great. Like that's the perfect kind of balance I think for a game like this. Yeah, it's just to build tension. You guys fell for it. Idiots. Stupid idiot viewers. Stop being so stupid. Yeah, remember it's like gun swapping is important and then recharging dash faster. This one's vital. At least it is for me. Aeronautical, thank you for the resub. You're stupid. Psh, you guys fell for it though. You fell for my expertly planned streaming ruse. You were 100% bamboozled. Where you got your Boo Ghost shirt from? I was always admired it when you wore it at Funhouse. Good question. I think it was Teespring? Is that a website or is that just... I don't remember. Unfortunately. I got it a long time ago. That was one of those shirts that I got and like just didn't wear for a long time because I wasn't...
But he is weak.
I wasn't in shape enough to wear it. And then I finally like lost some weight and I was like, yay, I can wear my cute Boo shirt. I do that a lot with like shirts and fashion. I'll get something and be like, when I can put this on and feel like it's a good shape, that's when I'll wear it. And then I use that to kind of try to motivate myself. Like hanging up your wedding dress, you know? We all know. We all know what that's like. Whoa, what? Didn't mean to overjump. Still did, though. I hear something very mean. Oh, it's... Fuck. Okay. Make sure he was down. He wasn't down. He's now, though. Have the super shotgun yet. Fuck. Oh no! Okay, let's get out of here. Oh shit! Please! Damn it! I hate like. I hate. I gave him my little shots, and I was like, please get stunned. Please. So I can glory kill you. Didn't happen. Oh, thank you. Yeah, I don't know where that came from. I've always liked boos. Boos are cute.
Against all the evil that hell can conjure. All the wickedness that mankind can...
Got my first ever gaming PC today. What are the must-plays? Depends what games you like. You're an Xbox pleb. What did you play on Xbox? Did you get on the homing rocket bandwagon? Thought you were a remote guy? I was remote in 2016, but lock-on is way, way better in this game. Yeah, the DP or the dot that the remote detonation did in 2016 was way too good because it would keep demons staggered, which is what I used it for. That doesn't exist in this game. Not in the way it did in 2016. That's aggravating. That is aggravating. I don't know how. I just lost it. I just fell behind. Couldn't catch back up. Mordheim? I played Mordheim a couple times. I don't know. Just generally not all that interested usually in like those kinds of games. I don't know. I feel like in games like that, there's a group of very dedicated players that get cultivate a level of skill so quickly, and it doesn't make it, you know, super fun to just join in and try to learn. Fun though. It's fun to goof around in. I've had fun times in it, but I can't see having fun in that game for more than like 2 hours straight for me. I need. Wait, no, I don't need the gas. Oh, it's like XCOM? What? What am I thinking of? Oh, I'm thinking of Mort Howe. Never mind. Then I actually have no idea what it is. Never mind.
The first Hell Priest has been terminated. The demonic consumption of Earth has been reduced by 36%.
My bad. Yeah, I mean, I like XCOM quite a lot.
There are 2 Hell Priests remaining.
Man, this level again, huh? I feel like every time I kind of get to a new environment, it's so nice. The small amount of time I can spend on cultist base is treasured. Before I go back to, like, angry rocks and hellscapes. That was weird. I don't have any memorable experiences with the online battle competitive games. That's largely true for me too, except for Battlefield. I have some pretty great memories of Battlefield. I think because of the big cinematic moments that can happen in that game. What the fuck? Its pathfinding was losing its mind. How much of a learning curve is Ultra Nightmare? From not playing the game at all? It's immense. If you've played shooters before, it's not impossible, but still pretty big. Played Planet Side 2, yeah. I love that game. I mean, for me, I think that kind of game that I have the most amazing memories from is Tribes, and Tribes 2. What's up, Namesrot? Welcome. This good old Battlefield. Yeah. Battlefield 5 feels like good old Battlefield to me, but apparently they've done a lot of tweaking to the combat and patches that make it less like Battlefield. Yeah. Yeah, it got tweaked too much. That seems to be what a lot of people say. Oh no! Okay, we're gonna back up now. Real. Throws a couple of things off. It's fine. It's fine. Jeez. Somebody's shouting out the bye-bye man. Out of all the discussions happening, that's what I zoomed in on. Hey, Zaxby. Welcome back. Oh, the game modes are a seasonal thing? Yeah. That's a weird thing. Call of Duty's been doing that too. Maybe it's like, it creates the illusion of like... So if you just put all the content out there, like 18 modes or whatever, people are only going to play like 2 of them. People just do that. They just settle on like one mode as the mode they play and maybe 1 or 2 maps as the maps they play. It feels like to me rotating modes in and out and rotating maps in and out is a way to force people to extract more value out of the content they make. So it's like, we make all these maps, but nobody plays them. Okay, well what if in a given week there's only 4 maps, so people have to play them? And then we rotate around, so it makes people like... Alright, it's melee. Just bought $40 worth of G Fuel. Oh, thank you. I'm glad I could save you a little money. you can stay hydrated. Overwatch is on season 22. Oh man. It's been so long since I've checked in on Overwatch. CUD kept the main game modes out there and would toss a few in each season. Battlefield 5 didn't do that, and unfortunately give you like 1 to 2 options. Oh, okay. Yeah. That's not as cool. Oh, shipping killed you? Really? Did you get cans or something? Like they don't have rush? Like at all? Shit. Okay, that was unfortunate. 14 is the only multiplayer experience any gamer needs. Everything else is bad. I agree. This is a true, honest fact. Absolutely true. I like collaborative multiplayer games more than I like competitive ones. I don't know. I'd rather team up with people and work together to beat a machine. That can, I don't know, that can hit its limits though. People will always provide never-ending fount of competition. 14 doesn't have cars and fast cars in F1. Not yet. Not yet. Who knows? Who knows what's going to be in patch 5.3? It's not like they've said. I should get the armor. I should get everything. Yeah, 14 does have flying cars. It's true. Got the energy crystals with the code, but the shipping is weird pricing. Thanks. Yeah, Depp, you're not the first person to say that. Is the shipping, like, inordinately expensive? Something's off there. I can ask about it. Oh. Having a great time playing Vermintide 2 with my brother and best friend. Scratches the Left 4 Dead itch. Yes! Games like Payday and Vermintide, I don't know why I haven't played more. I guess probably just, I don't really have a crew, but... Man. I love the Left 4 Dead style of game. I never really got a crew that I could, like, try and go through Left 4 Dead on the hardest difficulties with, and I wish I did. But, like, I was fascinated by having to, like... decide who was going to have which guns and like people moving smartly around each other to not block each other's lines of fire and stuff like that. Moving while combat and being safe and stuff like that. Ah, Left 4 Dead was so good. Oh. Fair roll. Thank you for the sub. Yeah. Isn't there another cacodemon? Yep. Weird. Yeah. God. How many bits for lookatmyasshole.com to link to an actual picture of just your asshole? Well, I mean, the hidden question there is... I don't think I ever looked at this before. I guess these are id Software employees? Thought I heard people wandering on up. I know I've seen Dan Silva's name in the credits. I think. Wait, Samuel Hayden is in there? How did I miss that? I mean, there's Hayden Sanders. Oh, the energy crystals are great too. I walked around a con without taking a seat while hydrated. Ooh. Very nice. Yes, energy crystals. That's just marketing on point right there. Make you think you're in a Jim Henson movie. Behold the energy crystal! Hayden Sanders is Samuel Hayden's KFC slinging alter ego. I'd eat it. Adventurer! Return the energy crystal! The stream is now about energy crystal lore. Damn it, I didn't know if I was gonna be able to get his ass like that. Hey! Fuck! Hey, okay. Yeah, for forfeit. Thank you for the encouragement.
Location on your HUD.
I feel like I'm at least getting a lot more consistent about beating the first level. You gotta do that to beat the game.
This is located just above your
So,
location.
that's good.
My scans indicate there is a lift at the center of this facility.
I'm gonna put this out there though. I'm suddenly feeling very lazy. So, I think I will actually close the stream up after this run, however far it gets. But yeah, I'm just feeling there. I want to go hang out with Steph. So, I'm gonna take that time, which means unfortunately, I'm bumping Final Fantasy XIV again. Poor Final Fantasy XIV. Actually, I'll probably be playing it off stream. I think I'm gonna play it from the couch a little bit. So if you guys feel like babying my ass while I'm playing with a controller, we can. I can use it as an opportunity to add people to the link shell, maybe. Also, I've been enjoying cooking a lot lately, and also we're behind on Blue Apron meals, so I might as well cook through the backlog there.
I do not have them. I've completed the
Only level 44? Oh, there was that tank for you? Ah.
The flame belt.
Yeah,
For your approval.
some people have mentioned it. I'll pose this question again. Maybe somebody has accurate information. Does anyone know, because I think somebody said you can't, but does anyone know once 5.3 comes out, are you going to be able to play through that with another job? What are you even doing 14? I got a tune at 72 on your server. What would I do? I mean, if I'm playing with a controller, there's only so much. I can't really, like, try to do the Savages or Extremes, because that's kind of what's next on my to-do list. Apart from that, let's see here. I might try to do deep-sea fishing. I don't know when the boat comes, but that would be a lot of just hanging out. You just finished Ultra Nightmare? Ernst Red, congratulations. Oh, man. That's great. I am a little jealous, but I'll get there too eventually. That is certainly something worth being proud of. So congratulations. How many? What's your playtime at? How many attempts did it take? Oh, Deep Sea was pretty novel to try. I just want the shark. I want the shark minion, the little shark boy. Isn't there like a mount too that you can get? I don't even know how to do it. There's like a. I looked up just where I needed to go to do it, and in it was this whole guide about deep sea fishing. Because of course it was. Finding people for the boat would be hard at this point, but having people here, we could get a full group. Oh man. Okay. Yeah, I got to read up on like the mechanics of it too. Well, shark minion is easy. Good. Need to take you into a synced run of Coil. Show you what Savage before Savage was. Literally group breaking fights in there. Okay, yeah, I haven't done all the Coil, so that would be cool. At this point, would it be possible? I don't know about synced, but would it be possible to, like, if I were playing on controller, and maybe my heels weren't hitting at exactly the right times, would it be possible to roll through that? Oh, what 14 server? I am on Leviathan, which is in the Primal data cluster. Oh, 311 hours, okay. Yeah, that sounds about right. I'm at like, I think I'm at like 80, so I got some dooming and cooming to do. I'll be down to get people together to help you in E5S if you wanted. I don't know what E5S is, but I appreciate that. Yeah, unfortunately this would be a lot easier to coordinate on stream. Yeah, maybe I'll open with Final Fantasy XIV tomorrow. Take a bit of a breather from Witcher. A 5th Eden Fight Savage. Gotcha. Yeah, I haven't done any of the Eden Savages. Thank you, Cyber Tears Die. I think it's a nice outfit, too. Ow, that was stupid. He's right there. Yeah, I mean, the ability to clear out space, like, before you get dash, I feel like having a speed boost on Glory Kill is a good replacement for dash. Just for these few fights where you gotta stay away from, enemies that are about as fast as you. In the Discord, so hit me up if you want help. Okay, cool, thank you. I may do that. I may also, alternatively, decide to turn off and play Assassin's Creed Odyssey. It's got that new open world game smell still, where everything's still interesting and nothing's repetitive yet, so. Yeah, landed on a barrel. Fuck. Dude, man, oh man. Okay. Wow. I landed on, yeah, I landed that was a pretty smart play. Also illustrates the danger of glory kills. Yeah, you can't just do those. You can't just do them. Man, maybe fast glory kill is the first thing I gotta get, or just not glory kill when there's a spider walking at me. I think that's it. I think that was the flawed logic. Arachnotron was coming on up, and I was like, stupid. I'm gonna be invincible. Broken arm. Woke up into a bunch of grenades. Should have just bypassed it. Yeah, I'll get there. We'll get him next time. Let me death count at 36. Just not glory kill every 2 mobs. Yeah, I do glory kill a lot. I glory kill too much. Yeah, that's something I do. I don't know. I like the rhythm of it. It's fun, but I do have to wean myself off of that. Yeah. All right. Well, thank you guys for watching. I'll find somebody to raid. Back tomorrow, opening with Final Fantasy XIV and then some Witcher 3. Now that I've finished the story, I'm gonna take a beat, go around, get all the Witcher diagrams, and see what gear I can make, and then start Hearts of Stone. Cool stuff. So thank you for watching. I'm gonna go relax and have a good evening. And you guys do it too. If I do it, you can too. All right, see you guys later.